And a very good afternoon, and welcome back to the Mortal Kombat 11 Pro Competition here at the Intercontinental Combat. We have yet another stacked top 8 as 8 players are trying to qualify for the regional finals to play for $5,000. Let's see how it plays out. I'm its owns, and I'm joined today by the one and only Falcon. What's going on, man?
Hey man, how you doing? It is great to be back over here at Intercontinental Combat. As we are approaching closer and closer to that regional finals, there's a lot more at stake for these players. Everyone really clawing at their ways to try and just get as many points as possible to secure their spot in the regional finals and play for that 5K.
Yes, sir. Saying that, let's take a look at this bracket. Once again, definitely stacked. And the matchup, the very first one, is a team kill. Can you even call that a team kill? The Turks going at it. We have Omi and Blood Eyes. This should be interesting, Falcon.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a real good one. But after that, returning face that we haven't seen for quite a while, Nivek. It's nice to see him back over here in a top 8 spot in the Intercontinental. Now, I know that he hasn't really been having as much success as he had in year 1 of Mortal Kombat 11. But Mr. Ramirez, no slouch, really strong Scarlet player, known for playing a few other characters as well. But in that losers round 1, you want to talk about 2 familiar names that we see right there?
We have the brothers, and it should. I mean, that's definitely not a team kill. That's a family matter, if you ask me. We have H-Dome
Yeah.
versus Magic T. Magic T being a very popular PC gamer, actually. So he
Yeah.
was like hosting like community events, tournaments on PC. That should be interesting too. And to close things out, K-Top versus Mobster.
Yeah, that's also going to be a really good one. Mobster being a really strong Fujin player and K-Top needing no introduction really at all because K-Top is K-Top. But before we can get into the action, we want to give a quick shout out to our presenting partner, the PS4 Tournament Open Series. The Mortal Kombat 11 Pro Competition is presented by the PS4 Tournaments. Be sure to check out the Open Series. They're weekly competitions for all skill levels. Compete against your friends and rivals for unique rewards. And if you head over to compete.playstation.com, get yourself signed up, do it all through your PlayStation, really well integrated, really easy to sign up and get yourself into the action. Highly recommend it. If you do well, earn yourself some nice bucks as well.
There you have it. And I think it goes to show how much of a difference the PS4 tournaments do. I mean, beautiful story. Oceania, week 3, we had like 40 registered players. And just the other day, we had over 100, man. So it really goes to show how much
Yeah.
of a difference it makes and how many people are willing to get involved because they see like how their community, how their players are doing. And, they want a piece of the action. So go ahead and check out the PS4 Tournament Open Series. But in saying that, I think we do have a match. We have Omi versus Magic T standing by to
Versus
find out.
So yeah, I mean
Mhm.
the internal battle right here, between two
Lotas, excuse me. Yeah.
representatives of the Turkish country. Like, I
Yes.
mean, it's not like we have many players from Turkey who are able to push these top 8s when it comes to the overall European brackets. These two guys have definitely been the most prominent players from that region. And watching them play against each other in winners round 1, I mean, first off, they both secured winners top 8, which is great in and of itself. Secondly, they have to fight against each other in the first round. So that's pretty rough. One of them is going to have to go down into losers, but eventually, Turkey still has 2 players over here in the top 8 to carry on their hopes and try and secure the bag. Blood Eye is going to be rocking in that patented rain pick that we've been seeing quite a lot from him recently, and he's been doing really well with it as well. And Omi on that trademark Sub-Zero that we've seen him on time and time again.
I'm looking forward to this. Battle of the Ninjas.
It really is. Blood Eyes, he plays very space control oriented, and he's playing an excellent character to really allow him to do that. Omi, likes to play what I will say. He likes to play neutral with Sub-Zero, or he tries to, but will definitely let those 50-50s rock when he needs to.
Sector and I had an agreement.
Both died when I took his head.
Your clan will serve me, Grandmaster.
Round 1.
So here we go. EU East Week 6. It's Omi versus Blood Eyes.
Starting things off by getting those plus frames. Blood Eyes getting clipped at the final hit of the creeping ice, blocking the ice ball, trying to go for a punish as well right there. Not going to work out, but the flawless reversal straight out the gate into a throw tank. These guys are definitely coming out swinging right here. Gets the punish this time.
You were talking about the space control and Blood Eyes movement is looking on point.
It is ridiculously on point right now. He is just zooming around the screen consistently, ready to block these ice balls every time Omi throws them out.
Oh, beautiful spacing from Omi. That's one on the board.
It definitely is. Seeing Blood Eyes probably going for a guitar toss. They're dropping the input. Omi, no confirm on the back 3 string right there. Woo! Good call out with that back 2, forcing the breakaway, even though Blood Eyes didn't need to use it. Still kept himself safe.
Oh,
that's gonna get punished though.
Punish, yes. Should be the round that he decides to spend it. No, very smart choice. Going with
Holding on to his resources,
yeah.
Keeping that crushing blow over here whilst he has the corner position as well. But this is Rain, you know, excellent jump 3, already out of the corner, using that hyper boost as well to extend the combo damage. 300 damage on the board for himself. Hydroplane, he had the escape failed from earlier on, so he's definitely getting that crushing blow.
This is going like 200 miles per hour.
I mean, Omi lost 600 health in the matter of seconds.
Oh
The
no!
right way.
Didn't autocorrect.
That was really strange right there. That was really unfortunate for Blood Eyes. Omi maximizing as much as he can on this situation.
Still doable, man. This is Sub-Zero. Fatal Blow's locked in. Oh no! He didn't confirm the back 3.
Okay, the down 2 trying to fish for a potential high coming out from Blood Eyes. He didn't bite over there. This
So
really
scary.
is.
If you're Blood Eyes, you're sweating right now. And that's
Oh, that's gonna be a punish. No, he broke away. He was really trying to get that round. I don't know about the breakaway right there, Mitsu.
He had it, man. That had Omi written all over it. Eyes gets to live another day. It's Dice Ball.
He didn't have the bar to start. I think he needs one more amplified slide for the KB right there. The throw gonna do a bit of damage. Blood Eyes now he's playing on the aggression as much as he can. Flawless block reversal. Generally just making it really tough for Omi to get anything started.
Another grab. I think we have to start seeing text coming on Omi. Another up 3, man. So consistent with them.
Really just ready to blow it up, but a great confirm right there from Omi. Gonna get the corner carry. Oh, the down 2! What a huge call out right there from Blood Eyes.
Oh, how unfortunate, man. That jumper could have been game. Unfortunately for Omi whiffing. And Blood Eyes.
I mean, even though Omi had that first round, he almost had the game. Blood Eyes just really played as aggressively as he started out in the set, right? And that just came to fruition so much that for the rest of the game, he was really just all over Omi. He was smothering him more than he was allowing, you know, himself to be smothered by Sub-Zero. He's not really allowing Omi to play the neutral that he wants to play.
That was unfortunate.
Sub-Zero.
That was so unfortunate. That whiff on the jump in.
Yeah, I mean, if he had gone for the jump 1, it definitely would have hit, but the jump 2, having that slightly, I guess, horizontal hitbox on it, literally just slipped by him, and then he still committed to the stand 4 fatal blow. I mean, I guess you have to at that point, right?
Probably dialed in.
Honestly, yeah. And I wouldn't blame him for doing so. That was pretty much a guaranteed kill, but Blood Eyes, he got himself that first point in the board. Definitely looking really good, trying to advance on to the winners finals. Omi's gonna have to try and stuff that hope. A potential whiff punish right there, just about missed it though. Oh, and a call out.
And once again, the spacing from Blood Eyes.
I love how he's using that hydroplane to just open up that spacing and to go in for the whip punishes. He knows the counter poke is coming and he's just ready to completely deny any potential comeback.
Man, if
Or
he had
Omi.
more, he would have probably up 3'd that as well.
He's not wrong. Geyser Climb gets the reposition, gets the round. Blood Eyes looking really solid right now.
I really like Blood Eyes. Doesn't get the 1-2. Back 2. Plus frames, gets the grab afterwards. No attempt to break through.
Yeah, no, you see that counter hit right there using that back 2-1. Really good tool right there that Rain has, you know, solid mid-string. Allows him to apply as much pressure as he needs to. Hydroplane once again to open up that space, going for a free whiff punish right there as Omi's just biting on these counter poke situations.
Yeah, he's 3 for 3 on those. Another one, no. And the minute he stays
This is my reign.
composed and patient, he gets a grab instead.
Yeah, I mean, ending it in the brutality as well, finishing it off in complete style. And I like that he conditioned Omi that entire round, saying, okay, if you press over here, you will get punished for it because I'm using the hydroplane to open up that space. And right at the end, he just canceled it, went for dash up throw because he knew Omi was going to sit there and block that time. Just really good, you know, attention and kind of awareness, you know, being able to condition someone like that. And especially a Sub-Zero player, for Rain to be playing the offense this much, that's no easy feat.
So we see a switch coming out of Omi. I mean, Blood Eyes was all over him, especially in game 2.
Yeah, that corner positioning really, really helped him. Omi just looked smothered in that situation, really.
It's going to be Sub-Zero, regardless. Couldn't see the variation. Let's see if he changes it up a bit. Decides to go with like a air axe or whatever.
Yeah, it would be an interesting choice, wouldn't it? But now he's going to be rocking the Deep Freeze and Creeping Ice, as we've seen before. I like this loadout choice from Blood Eyes as well. Hydroplane is not something that we actually get to see used too commonly in competitive play, but I do feel like it has utility, and really we're seeing that being put to display right there by Blood Eyes, and instantly with that Geyser Palm anti-air into the corner carry. Gets the Oki from that Geyser Palm as well. Keeps Blood Eyes with his back against the wall. But the back throw definitely going to favor Omi in this situation.
Flawless blocking the ice ball, yes.
Okay, he doesn't drop it this time. He's going to end in the slide. Not building towards that KB, but not going to matter. Gets some nice ridiculous damage on the board for himself. But the down 2 KB.
I mean, that
Oh, no, this is going to hurt.
That just sucks if you're Omi, man. He was all over Blood Eyes. But he got like 2, I think, individual hits. He got the back 3, didn't confirm. He got the 1-2, didn't confirm it. And he gets a down 2 just like that into your half-life gone, into GG's. Into match points, Blood Eyes.
Exactly. And right here, Blood Eyes is looking really much... He's looking like a freight train at the moment that really just can't be stopped. Okay, gonna confirm off of that jump 3 from the Hydro Boost as well. Omi forced to use the up 3. He's gonna find himself a confirm though. Gets the corner reposition. He's gonna spend the KB. He is.
Yeah, he knows that he's in big trouble and needs to make something happen here. Duncan is whipped, and unfortunately didn't raw block as well. Maybe he's not really comfortable right now. I mean, usually that's an easy confirm, the back 3 too.
Yeah, you know, really just committing to that one. Probably just gambling it all, and we're seeing Blood Eyes as well cashing out as much damage as he's going to be able to get, ending in that 4-2, 1+3 straight into the fatal blow.
Now what's
Omi
the play
still
gonna be?
this.
What's the play gonna be? What a throw tag! The Qatar toss! Chip is an issue and gets the jump in kick. That sucks, man. That just sucks if you're Omi.
That was incredibly well played by Blood Eyes as well. Letting that early jump 3 rock because he was very confident Omi was going to try and back to or stand to it. He just knew that Omi was very confident in his anti-airs and let that one rock early to catch him out. Really, that was a very convincing 3-0. It looked like Blood Eyes just had him figured out.
I mean, he made it look easy, not to, you know, slam dunk on Omi whatsoever, but Omi, man, he came out swinging this week. He defeated Dubasic, Distorted, Magic T, and Blood Eyes over him just like that. I think he could be trouble, man. Blood Eyes could very well make it very far in this tournament, I reckon.
Yeah, I mean, he's been consistently leveling up over the course of time. We've been seeing a lot, you know, since lockdown of him playing in these online tournaments, whether it be the Open Series, whether it be the Pro Competition, or community events. We're seeing Blood Eyes' name frequently pop up a lot more recently, and he's always getting better results. And that is, I think, very admirable, not only for a player who comes from a region that is underrepresented, as we mentioned before, you know, Omi and Blood Eyes really only being the 2 people who are getting out there making that name. He's doing it with Rain and Frost.
I mean, the good news is we'll see him later as well, but Omi, of course, not being out of the tournament as well. Speaking of the tournament, what exactly is the Mortal Kombat 11 Pro Competition? We have 8 events per region. We have the Intercontinental Combat, the North American League, and Liga Latino. Top 8 advances to the regional finals to play for $5,000. Top 16 advances to regional finals for the North American League. Each sub-region is playing for $10,000. And once again, man, we are very deep into the pro competition. 6 weeks in, we have
yeah.
2 more weeks to go, and once again, these top 8 individuals are playing for a lot of points. 350 points for the winner, and some of them are already looking very good to make the regional finals. I mean, speaking of K-Top, for example, he's second place with over 1,000 points, man, to play
Yeah.
for the regional finals at the end of the season. Let's see how it
K-Top has
plays out.
he's just been on an absolute tear, hasn't he? Like, really just came back to competitive Mortal Kombat, brought out, you know, a character that the scene knows is incredibly strong, Jackie, and is doing incredibly well with that character. And is really, now I don't want to be disrespectful to any other players, but has really steamrolled his way through top 8s. And he's looking like quite the destructive force that EU East is going to have to be dealing with. But ultimately, I'm pretty sure that his spot in the regional finals is you know, secured, sitting at comfortably at second. We are at week 6 of 8. So, you know, really, it's like now it's other people trying to fight to get the last spots. There's still those other spots for the top 8, so that they're going to be in with a chance to win that 5K.
We have this week, we have 2 more to go, but I think Keita, I don't do the math. I leave that to the people behind the back, but he looks very good to make the finals. But let's focus on the task at hand. We have a match going very, very soon. We have Nimic taking on Mr. Ramirez. Should be a very interesting one as well. And you said it yourself, it's good to see Nimic being back in the action.
Yeah, Nivek, you know, a legend within the FGC. Really, at this point, is a very a veteran. At this point, is just consistently at the top of his game, no matter what he plays. And really, like, Mr. Ramirez has been one of the newer faces to competitive Mortal Kombat. I say newer, you know, based on the timeline of the NRS games. But Mr. Ramirez has done incredibly well in the top 8 brackets that we're seeing. Like, every time that they're playing, we're seeing some pretty good results coming out from them. And we've seen Shiva in the past. We've seen this Sundell that we're going to see, you know, being hovered at the moment and locked in. We've also seen a really strong Scarlet. Nivek, pretty much known through and through to be playing Jackie. After, I mean, that insane IKK run against Foxy, you know, securing the spot in the final combat.
Ooh. Playing
Jackie over here. But now to see him back in this top 8 pretty comfortably. I know he's been doing pretty well recently, having won a Greek tournament, I believe. And yeah, looking like this is a really unpredictable match, because now we're basically watching new school versus old school.
Very well said. Let's see how it plays out. It's going to be Sindel from Mr. Ramirez versus Jackie from Nivik.
Submit, and I'll spare your fun. Your hair grow like Pinocchio's nose when you lie? It grows whenever I kill someone.
Round 1, fight.
That was a good one, man. That was a good one. Here we go then. Semifinals.
Alright, like starting things off using that leap. Okay, the Air Banshee at the right moment right there. Mr. Ramirez cashing out on 22% damage. I wonder if he could have gotten a fair bit more. Unbreakable, probably just opting to save the meter for a bit later. Gets the corner reposition with that hair whip as well.
Good pick up from Mr. Ramirez. He's stuck in the corner. He's content with it, seems like.
Yeah, Nivek right now not really needing to do anything. He's really just waiting out the timer, but he does have less health at the moment. I think he's looking for the right time to jump in, but right there instantly, stuff by Mr. Ramirez. Dropped combo into punish from Nivek.
Let's pick up from Nivek to the corner positioning as well.
He's gonna get the Oki from this back throw as well. Mr. Ramirez guessing wrong on the throw this time. Nivek mixing it up with the forward throw, keeping him in the corner.
One more clean hit into a fatal blow to end the round for Nivek. The interactable, he's out of there.
I like the use of the interactable right there, using the invincibility frames on the startup to just get his way out the corner. Nivek biting, letting that fatal blow rock to try and get a counter hit.
Hair whip though. Time is a factor. 13 seconds on the clock. Chip is an issue. 10 seconds. Yeah.
The anti-air from the low star screamers, all that Mr. Ramirez needed. Nivek getting a little bit hasty. Going for a normal jump with a character with leap? Questionable. Okay, you can see that Nivek's trying to fish out. He's trying to get the air to airs. He's trying to make his jump to matter over here so that he can confirm it and then make the, you know, just apply as much damage as possible. But Mr. Ramirez is doing a good job of just kind of laying him out and not letting him approach him very easily.
Yeah, but Nivek is really patient right now. Really like it. Look at that. Goes for it, course. All blocks. Except that one big punish from the interactable. One of the worst interactors in the game.
That was surely a missed input right there. Probably tried to go for a low star screamer or something, but Mr. Ramirez has another chance at life. He is down on the defensive bar. Throw tech from Nivek. Oh, gets the dash punch, KB.
This is the Jackie pressure. Here it is. Slightly walking back. It should be around.
Yeah,
What a
off that
mover.
+2. Just moving back a little bit, opening up that space and going for the instant whiff punish after Mr. Ramirez tried to challenge. Nivek evens out the rounds. We hear, oh, the dash up back 2 into the armor break.
Baggering. Another back 2. Now watching his feet is Nivek.
Getting hit by that low. Definitely starting to rack up as he's now under 50% life. He's at this full screen game, really at the mercy of Sindel, you know? I mean, low recovery as soon as she lands from that air banshee and it's just making it hard for him to approach. There's the air
There
credit
it is
needed.
though. Make this count, Nivek. Stay on her. That's the grab as well. Welcome up 3. Another leap. Empty leap as well.
Wise throw tech right there, but a down 3 challenge on that forward 2. Nivek not allowing Mr. Ramirez to get away with much. Another throw gets the Oki.
Oh no, no follow-up!
It was a really important drop right there. That could have been the round.
Yeah, we'll play the ball for sure. More defensive bar for Nivek. And chip at this point for Mr. Ramirez! Yeah,
Oh.
gonna work this time with the brutality as well. Fool me once,
Sindel wins.
says Mr. Ramirez probably.
My goodness, though. I mean, he just dashed up and then flawless blocked the fatal blow, which just allowed him to get that punish as well. I question if you have been able to get a consistent punish had the natural pushback just, you know, applied. I know he can forward for it, but maybe the block stun could have been bad for him. But really, that was perfect for him. Just a dash up, and then Nivek not afraid to just let that rock as well in the neutral to, you know, fish out a button or just catch him in the movement or anything like that. But ultimately, it did not work out for him.
Nivek had a really hard time to gain some space, man. Mr. Ramirez being very smart with those air banshees, the low scream, just keeping him at bay. And that is a tough task against someone like Jackie with the leap equipped.
Oh yeah, for sure. But using the air banshee is a really good way of just shutting down her approach, right?
Yeah.
Is that full screen approach when she's using leap, because every time you hit that, you are just easily hit confirming it into a lot of damage, and you're at least forcing them off the breakaway, or you're making them eat, you know, a lot of damage, really.
Fight.
Game 2 instantly with the 4th.
And Nivek, I mean, he's opting to just go back and play this full screen game. I think he's really just looking for the right kind of jump arc or a moment of recovery that Mr. Ramirez is going to be in from preemptively using those bounty dashes just to try and leap his way in.
It looks to me like Nivek is trying to be a bit more aggressive. That was smart. Waiting out the active frames of the Banshee. Leap in. The pick up though from Mr. Ramirez. Keep the corner.
Yeah, now Mr. Ramirez back into this full screen game right here, using that far Banshee, not able to get anything as Nivek, but the late forward 4 on the anti-air allows that pickup.
Very good play. And he's in.
And Nivek just can't hold Mr. Ramirez down at the moment. He can't really open him up. We're seeing a lot of patience from Mr. Ramirez. Could have been a big punish right there, but missed his opportunity.
No throw tech as well. Gonna put her full screen. And mixing it up. Wow.
That was so cheeky, Mitsu. What? Short hop, a mid-screen short hop into dash up forward 2. I mean, that just worked.
Man, is this annoying if you are Nivek, but very smart play regardless from Mr. Ramirez. Gets to confirm as well. Hold on a minute. Big punish coming through from Nivek.
All right, he's got Ramirez off that breakaway. Now he's going to definitely have to open him up and make it hurt, make it count. Mr. Ramirez throwing out all the buttons in challenge. Says, you dare try and contest me on my plus frames? This is just a game of chicken at this point.
Yeah, but
right now.
It's working very well for Mr. Ramirez. Nivek needs to make something happen here to stay alive. Gets opened up once again.
Like the hand.
That's a lot of damage at this point for Nivek to be taking, especially when he's down a round. We all know how explosive Jackie can be. Nivek really just trying to find the right opportunity, but the Air Banshee, this just looks really rough for her to be approaching in any way through the air.
Mr. Ramirez is just a no-fly zone as a whole. He is playing this matchup really, really smart.
Yeah, like every time we're seeing Nivek go for the grounded approach, we're seeing Mr. Ramirez go for the forward twos, the forward fours, checking in with the pokes. And then every time he's in the air or he's, you know, at mid-screen or something like that, we're seeing dash up back twos, we're seeing air banshees, we're seeing, you know, hair flips. It's like he's generally making it so hard for Nivek to do anything. And then when Nivek closes the space, Mr. Ramirez knows that Jackie doesn't really have many, she doesn't have mix-ups per se, you know? She just has a lot of pressure. And he just waits for his turn.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, he's content taking the throws. He just waits for his turn.
Right.
That's really it. Goes back to that neutral game, and then over there he's excelling.
So it's not like Nivek isn't getting in by any means. He is getting in, but even the minute he is getting in, Mr. Ramirez just is very content with just blocking. He's not getting opened up whatsoever.
And usually that would be the scary thing against Jackie, right? Because he's burning over time. But to do that, Nivek's still going to have to find that hit and not drop the combo.
Fight.
Let's see if he finds the necessary adaptation here to stay alive. Currently a comfortable 2-0 for Mr. Ramirez. There is a hit.
There it is. Gets the breakaway as well. Now this is really good. Mr. Ramirez's health bar is gradually depleting over here. 13 damage on that throw.
Wow, Nivek is just refusing to block, it seems.
Maybe being a maniac at this point is actually the right call. Make it unpredictable, right?
So, what a stagger with that 4-4. And she's out.
Yeah, using that full string as well just to get the runaway, but the readjustment on that jump too, I mean, it's not going to matter because Nivek dropped the combo right there. Escape failed as well for Mr. Ramirez. This is going to be a good situation for him because he can hold on to that throw KB for later. This is actually within the realm of comeback territory for Mr. Ramirez.
100%. Especially with that screen crushing blow still ready to go. The fatal blow is locked. The grab is locked. Crushing blow. Lock on the overhead. String.
Yeah. Oh, dropped it!
Wow. Wow.
That was really smart. Really smart from Nivek.
Wow. Just pushing her into the flame carpet with the entirety of the string. That was so smart from Nivek. But the unfortunate drop from Mr. Ramirez. That fatal blow earlier.
Yeah, it really did cost him the round right there. As Nivek starts to show signs of life right here. As he's going to have to make a reverse sweep happen. But right now, Mr. Ramirez, he's got a pretty comfortable health lead at the moment. Doesn't have too much to worry about, using that forward 4 once again to just really minimize any threat of Jackie's approach. There's just a lot of jumping, a lot of air banshees right now. You know, Nivek just being ever so patient, doesn't want to make his way in.
It's lame, but it's very effective. He's playing this right. Look at that. And the minute he does decide to leap in, he confirms it as well. And like, it's not just like he's throwing it out there. He's ready.
Yeah, it's all done with intent, but that up 3 right there, I'm not sure about that one. Probably a bad read from Mr. Ramirez. Not going to work out. Nivek has the chance to start stealing some momentum over here and potentially snowball around.
Still doable, plus frames, where the 3 is blocked. With patience from Mr. Ramirez, time is becoming a factor here. The forward 4, the forward.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, Nivek.
Ramirez on match point.
He ate the second forward 4 as well. I'm not sure about that one. Probably tried to jump or just disrespect it in general. Mr. Ramirez just hit confirming off his button, doing exactly what he needed to do. He is on that set point. This is a very important win for Mr. Ramirez to secure a spot in Winners Finals. Nivek, he's in Winners for a reason, but right now it's looking like he is really flustered at the moment.
Grab. Got one. Grab. The confirm off the 4-3. 1.
Yeah, look at that, 38% on the break as well. Like, by the time you've already come off those 2 bars, oh, what a challenge!
Wake up buttons, though, from Mr. Ramirez. decided to play the lane game. Wow, interesting choice.
Nivek now puts this in kill territory. Mr. Ramirez going for the corner reposition, is still burning slightly.
This was very smart.
Oh,
No!
it's gonna kill him! No, it's not,
he's
just
not
run
dead.
out.
Wow, he's not dead yet.
Oh my god.
I mean, what play from Mr. Ramirez, man. To even decide to go with the throw in that situation. Maybe he had his timer ready and set in his head. He knew, no, this is not gonna kill me. And just finishing off, man, with the crushing blow on the screen. What play from Mr. Ramirez.
Instantly, like, just the audacity to go dash up throw in that situation, straight into the Banshee stream as well. I mean, that was a really good decision, just in case Nivek had tried anything disrespectful, right? It was pretty much a guaranteed KB at that point, if Nivek tried anything. And because of the roll, it punished the roll. And then Ramirez, you know, got the free dash up confirm into fatal blow. That's all he needed. And just like that, you know, secures his spot further, advancing on in this top 8 where he's going to be fighting Blood Eyes later on.
That was very, very smart play. Very efficient play as well. From game 1, just keeping him at bay. And even if it was a grounded situation, he was very patient, taking his turn, waiting his turn, really. Very, very well done. And I mean, Mr. Ramirez now officially over Mercer, over K-Top, and over Nivek. Might be a problem as well. Looking forward to the matchup later on against Blood Eyes in the winners finals.
It's going to be really interesting, but I mean, Nivek, he was making some really good decisions over there, but ultimately, you know, I feel like he only really got one good combo that whole game, that whole set, which was the 38% by the time Ramirez had broken, and that was in the final game. And I think those drops really cost him so much, because those crucial moments where he really needed the hit, and he found the hit after Ramirez was being so patient, just, you know, ready to block everything, he wasn't capitalizing on those hits as much as he could have done.
That was unfortunate, man. But the good news is we'll see him later on in losers. He's not just out of the tournament just yet. Now we have to go to the loser side of things. That's, you know, the unfortunate part. We have to say goodbye to a few players. It's going to be H-Dope versus Magic T. But before we get into it, let's quickly talk a bit about Astro Gaming, the official audio partner of the Mortal Kombat 11 Pro competition. Check out their gear at astro.gaming.com. What we hear is coming through the Astro Gaming family's gear. So go ahead and check out their high quality products over at astrogaming.com and their officially licensed PlayStation audio products, which are available right now.
Yeah, I mean, super comfortable headsets, super awesome, and also really stoked for Astro to be supporting the pro competition online and everything Mortal Kombat, you know. So huge shout outs to them. But
long time coming as well.
Yeah, you know, like you mentioned earlier, with our first match of losers. Now, H-Dope is a player that we haven't seen as much as K-Top, but we know how much this player is, like, you know, what he's capable of. And as far as I know, likes to play the Shiva variation with the shield, that's plus 15, to guarantee the 50-50. But it seems like are we going to see Devora?
Hold on.
Oh, or is this Shiva?
We see a hidden select from Magic T. What could this mean? Nothing. He's honest with it. He is playing with open cards, it seems like. Magic T being a bit more cheeky with his choice. Let's see what's it gonna be at the end of the day.
Yeah, Magic T playing the hidden cursor right here. Now, Magic T, you know, I think predominantly known for playing Noob Saibot, and that is what we're gonna see over here. Shadow Portal, Shadow Slide, and Air Tele Slam. Spinning Dragon, Queen's Punishment, and Dragon Stance from H-Dope. A very oppressive Shiva variation that's just gonna be an absolute bully in this matchup.
Here it is then. Losers round 1. Magic T versus H-Dope. Saibon versus Shiva.
Starting things out as well with a nice little chunk of damage. H-Dope answering with a stomp for 10% right here, using that shield, keeping himself safe by spending the bar. And you don't want to get hit by that thing, because that's just going to guarantee a very unfavorable situation, but the bait.
Sent down to a crushing blow as well. Wants to get rid of it.
Yeah, I mean, optimal punish right there on the teleport after baiting it like so. This is definitely fishing for the armor break KB as well, but Magic T didn't bite on that one. Good blocks.
Good pick up from H-Dope.
This is the queen right here. Magic T really unable to move because of the bleed. Yep.
Stand, coward.
That's just bullying, isn't it? That's just mean.
It really is, but it's such a clever way to close out a game, right? It's just a guaranteed situation. Okay, oh, no punish right there from Magic T. Plus 15, okay. Using that mid into the dragon stance. Magic T answering back with a shadow slide. Gonna knock H-Dub away full screen. Yeah, that one's tricky. Noob doesn't have a very good forward dash or a back dash, so I wonder how he actually gets out of this situation consistently, if he can.
And she's out. Her back throw. Really wants her crawl. Slide as well.
Okay, gets counter hit, potentially trying to poke her backdash right there. We're gonna see a confirm right here from H-Dope. All of this unbreakable damage. Magic T not even able to come off those 2 defensive bars that he has in the bag.
Is that barely.
Chip.
Yeah, couldn't take any more of those. Maybe could have poked after the wake-up roll. Not sure, but I think that was his only chance after he did the roll. H-Dope on the board.
He's looking really comfortable playing Shiva, you know. I mean, it's not the first time that we've obviously seen H-Dope be playing Shiva, but really this loadout of Shiva is not something that you often see with most people playing Shiva at the moment. The shield itself is a very... I feel like it's quite similar to Jade's Delia's dance in the sense that, you know, you're spending the bar as a block confirm to keep yourself safe in most situations, right? And then you, on hit, you are pretty much guaranteeing a mix-up in that sense, where your opponent is going to have to hold it. In Shiva's case, she definitely guarantees it, whereas in Jade's case, it's more of a frame trap, right? It has that 3-frame leniency window, but H-Dope is applying it really well, and Magic T switching over to Spawn. I mean, my go-to character right here. I think I'm a little bit biased now, because he's just the GOAT. But I always love seeing some Spawn representation, and Magic T rocking this awesome character right here, charging Hell Spawn and Soul Forfeit for easy.
Oh, hold on a minute. I just hope we see it, man. Sometimes in tournament we see it equipped, but they don't shine with it. They don't get to shine with it. Talk to him, Magic T. I do love me some Spawn as well. Let me tell you that much.
Now, I wonder if there's anything specific about this matchup. If he can use Unholy Veil in the Dragon stance potentially to get KB.
The parry.
But, yeah. Good blocks. Holy bit on the shield though, guaranteeing this mix-up once again. H-Dope.
There it is!
Oh, there it is!
There it is! Instantly!
Oh, that was great for Magic T as well, using that down 2, and H-Dope still broke afterwards.
So now, this changes. He can't throw 4 anymore. In this specific range. Or the parry is coming through.
Yeah, I mean, Magic T has a nice health lead to work with at the moment, backing off and getting a clean punish on the stomp as well. Going for the double shoulder confirm right there, 46%.
Yeah, chipping this point man with that standing 3.
Oh my god, the backdash has been so clean right now from Magic T. 2 for 2 right there on both those stomps. Very clean round from him as well.
Beautiful adaptation from Magic T. Hold on. Yeah, a bit too far away.
Just a little bit. Now these projectile trades are going to be in favor of Shiva. She's gradually chipping away at that life bar as well.
Good flawless ball.
That was really good for Magic T though. Allows him some space and some breathing room. Get some damage on the table. He's going to opt to stay full screen though. I wonder if he's just waiting down the timer or waiting for H-Dope to try and overcommit to something like that.
This again. Breakaway? No. Still eating 31%, man.
Disrespected.
Hold on.
With it.
Wow. I'm really surprised that didn't work. There was a counter. Surely it was the parry. 1% left, and yeah, keeping it simple with the down 1 check.
Yeah, just trying to contest any potential wake-up buttons or wake-up throw from Magic T. A wake-up throw could have actually killed in that situation as well if he went for the KB and he had the fatal low on deck. So right now, Magic T, I mean, he's playing this matchup a lot more comfortably than he was with Noob, that's for sure.
Yeah, but H-Dope doesn't seem to be impressed after that first round. Good flawless block.
Yeah, really mitigating all that chip damage. So even though there's a lot of projectiles coming out from H-Dope, they're not really doing a lot of damage. That stomp is really the most damage H-Dope has gotten in a single moment. This flawless block's really helping out Magic T right there. So close, just narrowly out of range. I was kind of waiting for him to do walk-up cape parry. Like, I was like, if he does that, that would just be the most gangster move.
Another game with Chicken Man. Who moves first? Look at that, man. Spending all resources. I mean, to be fair, she doesn't need to spend a lot for all of these shenanigans. Look at that, man. Keeping him at bay. What do you do? What do you do if you're Magic Team, man?
I mean, Magic T being a little bit over patient right there, you know, he had a really good start in this game, right? But he just kind of let H-Dub do that. He wasn't really answering it back enough as much as he should have, right? At that point, it really was like, he was mitigating chip with flawless blocks, he was ducking the high projectiles, but at the end of the day, the little bits of damage and the occasional stomp and stuff, they're all gonna rack up. And at that point, yeah, he kind of just let H-Dub do what he was doing.
He didn't walk at all, I feel like. He ducked a lot, he flawless blocked a lot, but
yeah,
he wasn't
very true.
walking forward, really.
Yeah, like he wasn't trying to take those brief moments in between fireballs to start walking forwards and closing the gap, like the full auto Jackie strategy almost.
But then again, man, H-Dub was very smart with the zoning. Occasionally throwing out all projectiles as well, all fireballs. Keep him at bay, very smart with the meter management.
Now, Magic T opting for a character switch. Now, even though he did, you know, fairly well in these games with Noob, Saibot, and Spawn, wasn't able to close them out. H-Dope is on that set point, but we're seeing Helport Cancel and Burning Spear, so that pretty patented loadout right there for Scorpion. And playing this cursed Bleached MK9 Scorpion skin. This is a cursed recolor. Okay, Burning Spear. He's gonna have those 16% throws as well.
Back three.
Oh my
Another
goodness.
bait from H-Dope. Really is ready. Knows the options.
Definitely does. Just opening up space. Wow, that raw teleport straight away from Magic T to check him on the backwards movement.
Mission the string to get out of trouble.
Escape
Escape failed, yes. Surely doesn't spend it. Yeah. Would spend that one though? Yeah, that's the one that really hurts. 30% just like that.
Now you've got Shiva in Fatal Blow territory. I was gonna say whiff could be death, but H-Dope a little bit too slow to pull the trigger right there.
Yeah, it was too late to get out of harm's way for Magic T. Gotta watch your feet. Good down three. What's it gonna be?
Though.
Wow. Uh-oh. Spins the 4. This is very close.
Oh my goodness, the perfect backdash is right there.
A bit too greedy for H-Dope. He wanted it very simple.
Round 2. Fight.
I think he was really trying to just challenge to see if Magic T would actually be able to deal with that one. This is valuable information for him to know that he is capable of doing it. He is going to maximize on those punishes. Plus 15.
Being a bit disrespectful is Magic T, pressing after that block that down 3.
A throw punish. I mean, not enough, but he is going to get 13%. He's going to have that corner positioning. He's got the knockdown, the short hop, jump, attack. Right there. Oh my god, no confirm, but not enough of a punish.
Okay, confirms that one. Of the 4th punish. Confirm, I should say. Good interaction from Magic T.
Using that pushback on the 4-3-4. Gonna confirm this time. He gets that 1-1 straight away. Using both teleports right there and ending in the spear. Magic T keeping himself alive in the set.
Beautiful combo. Did find the confirm when he needed it the most. Magic T is on the board. This loser is round 1.
Now, I think, you know, anyone that, watches Magic T's content stuff knows that he has this Scorpion if he ever needs it. And I think that he was willing to try out the other two characters with a pretty decent idea of how to handle the matchup. But ultimately kind of just fell short with them. But he's looking a lot more comfortable on Scorpion. We're just going to need to see, tighter confirms in these clutch situations. And bigger punishes. Like when he got the Helport cancel, he just opted for like the 13% throw.
Yeah.
It's just that these things are going to come back to bite him if he's not able to cash out on as much as he can. Oh, God!
What?
Oh, no, don't play with my heart like this. H-Dope is going to be playing Spawn?
No, surely not. I mean, why would you?
Because every time Magic T screws up, then Spawn is going to kill you for it, right? He's going to do so much damage or force you off the breakaway, and without that defensive bar, you can't use Helport cancel. So it feels like a really favorable thing to play Spawn over here. But, I mean, He's also rocking Soul Forfeit.
Forfeit.
Oh, come on. This is a change of heart.
Hold on. Don't jump up and down just yet. We didn't see it earlier from Magic T. Let's see if we see it from H-Dope. Game 4.
Starting things off with that poke right there. Down 1 into the forward throw. Challenge straight away confirmed into that +2. And leaning back with that back 1, trying to catch a potential counter poke from Magic T. And H-Dope, all he needs to do is just play with the space, right? Just play comfortably. Oh!
Wow, beautiful dunk from H-Dope. Double down to 30% just like that. The wing up roll.
Was indeed 43% as well. Now this is also something that H-Dope is doing that we didn't see from Magic T spawn, using that 3-4 Unholy Veil cancel to keep himself safe. As we don't really see that happening much, and H-Dope looks really comfortable right now in spawn, cashing out huge damage in just that first round.
Force string as well. 11 frames.
Clean confirmed, gonna use both bars as well because Magic T held on, but the Unholy Veil not gonna work against an airborne opponent. Magic T has the corner to work with.
Oh no!
He tech wrong.
It's spawn, man.
Yeah, and H-Dope didn't spin the bar.
That was so smart, and probably just the standing 3-4. Talk to him!
Brutality.
That brutality is so sick, man.
Love it. And then this end pose as well with the chain spinning around him. Ah, dude, this character is just so cool, man.
I don't have that brutality, unfortunately, man. I still do not have it.
But I mean, that last game, H-Dope was chefing. That was just really the ball was entirely in his court, wasn't it? He looked so comfortable on spawn, which is crazy because he had such a strong showing with Shiva and was doing so much with her, taking out 2 of Magic T's like comfortable characters, and then just pulling out the spawn that we've rarely seen compared to the Shiva as of late, and really just demolishing Mr. Magic T right there. Magic T going for the back throw tech, that was crazy. In that situation right there, going for the back throw tech when it was spawn in the corner, I think he was like a layer too deep, or like that one step ahead where he thought, you know that I know that you know that you get the KB over here and I'll take the forward throw, so you'll do the back throw to mix me up, yada yada yada. But yeah, it didn't really work out as he intended as H-Dope moves on in the losers bracket.
I'm not sure, man. I think it's just a matter of nowadays you don't play against spawn that much anymore, so you're just in that mode. Oh, I gotta throw it. Tech throws backwards because he wants me in the corner, but this is spawn, man. He gets that unique crushing blow if he throws you forward in the corner. And man, oh man, it ticked in my brain as well the minute I saw that. I was like, hey, hold on a minute, this is gonna hurt. Beautiful play, and we might see the brothers act later on in losers round 2. And speaking of which, it is going to be K-Top versus Mobster next.
Yeah, and I mean, we could be seeing that brother showdown with only one of them being allowed to advance as well in that situation. But K-Top being just the dominant force that he has been throughout is going to be facing off against a strong Russian Fujin player, Mobster. But before we can get into that, we want to give a quick shout out to our presenting partner, the PS4 Tournament Open Series. The Mortal Kombat 11 Pro Competition is presented by PS4 Tournaments. Be sure to check out the Open Series right here, as you can see on the screen. PS4 Tournaments are weekly competitions for all skill levels. Compete against your friends and rivals for unique rewards. Visit the PlayStation 4 Competition Center, the one destination that has Mortal Kombat content that gives you an inside look at how top players play and tips and tricks for players of all skill levels. Just head over to that website you see on your screen, compete.playstation.com, and get yourself signed up. Really, really easy to get yourself involved if you're looking to delve into the world of competitive Mortal Kombat, and I highly recommend it.
Very, very well done. Now, we should have a match momentarily, and we shall close out the round 1 matches. Once again, agree player, the brother, actually, of H-Dub is going to be K-Top taking on Mobster. Who is, K-Top even going to play? I have no idea.
I think at this point, K-Top is through and through a Jackie player.
Oh, yeah?
And he's just going to be rocking that same Jackie, the upgraded 2.0 as we call it in the community, the upgraded plus. He was playing upgraded light before, and now we are at the full version. But he's really been able to capitalize on just how strong the character is and how much Jackie allows K-Top to play Mortal Kombat in the very aggressive way that we've been seeing him play over time.
Now, this is a beautiful story as well, or maybe not so much for Mobster, but an interesting regardless. Mobster already lost to H-Dub. He might get eliminated.
Oh, getting double eliminated by the brothers?
From the brothers, man. That sucks.
Yeah, well, he's gonna have to fight really hard to deny that prospect right now, as K-Top is probably the strongest player in this top 8 currently, going based on, you know, just the recent results and everything.
Yeah.
And we've seen him tear his way through losers before, but Mobster as well, not rocking the Fujin, actually playing Scorpion, rocking that sick Season of Blood skin, you know, from Season 1. I love that skin. Right there. Oh, what? Called out the teleport cancel straight away with the dash punch?
How do you do that?
I mean, that was ridiculous. Instantly baiting the counter poke right there, forcing the whiff into that forward 1-2 punish. 34% right here. K-Top using the plus frames in the corner, forcing the whip again. Down one back dash.
I think he messed up the corner, not gonna matter whatsoever. K-Top all over Mobster this first round.
Yeah, Mobster trying to play fighting games right now. K-Top being an absolute machine at the moment, confirming all of this damage. Mobster not breaking away on any of that, is still burning in this corner. Overhead check as well. It was pretty rough for him, Mitsu.
I mean, how do you call this? All over. Finally finds a way out of the corner just to jump into it again, but hey, this is Scorpion, teleports out of there.
Okay, good setting 4 right there. Catches the jump, but not gonna confirm. He's that drop combo really is gonna cost him over here potentially. Overhead check again.
Okay, it worked a third time.
Oh,
I
no.
respect it. I respect it. I respect it. So
That
he was
so risky.
Yeah, but it was smart. And that,
Yeah.
Because it would have been death if that would have worked. So he dialed in the forward 4, not into the forward 4-2, which is the usual string. He dialed it into a spear in case of a flawless block attempt from K-Top. Didn't work, didn't bite. K-Top emerging in the victory.
Yeah, and I think in that situation, right, it's a crazy risk to make, because albeit it was smart and it would have had a huge reward and he would have gotten himself the round had it worked. But in that situation, if I'm K-Top, I don't have a reason to flawless block the forward 4-2. So I think to myself, was it worth the risk? But at the end of the day, you know, I guess trying it out in the first game is a good way of testing the waters, right, as you're going into the rest of the set. And knowing that K-Top didn't bite in that situation, I wonder if he's going to be reluctant to use that same mix-up again in the future.
So no changes, it seems like. Demon Breath, huh? Did we see that? I mean, we didn't see it used. I don't know if he was equipping that as well. Interesting.
You know, I didn't even realize in the first game if he had Demon Breath or not.
Yeah, right?
We just didn't see it, right? At all.
It seems like
again?
Skin.
My goodness, K-Top is just a man unleashed at the moment, looking like the John Wick of EU East. Okay,
wow, he's the confirm. Not gonna matter. They're down 2. Come through.
What a reaction right there from K-Top, just denying Mobster's ability to cross him over, forcing him to stay in this corner. Okay, good throw tech. Oh
no, he's a little too much. That was unfortunate that didn't work, man.
You're nothing.
Yeah, that one really cost him the round right there. And Jackie, not the kind of character you want to be whiffing against. You know, she is going to hit you like a truck.
Give it up.
No, just a down 1. Another grab. Good anti-air.
K-Top's anti-airs have been really on point at the moment. Trip guard attempt right there from Mobster. Did not go for the confirm. Didn't really believe it was going to connect. 4-3-1 cashing out big on it. He's already used that dash punch KB in the beginning of the game, so he doesn't get it there, but he gets the corner carry, which is really important. But no punish on the 3-3 from Mobster. No punish on the teleport.
It's a bit sloppy. Yeah, this is just mean. This is one of those fooling situations we saw earlier with the flame carpet, man.
Yeah, I mean,
and the toasty as well.
The guaranteed ways to close out a game. At that point, it really is just, you know, your name has been written in the death note. Like, how do you get out of that situation, right? You can't. You just have to prevent it in the rest of the game as much as you can from getting to that point where you can just die to the carpet flame.
So
But yeah.
it is indeed looking like he could be double eliminated by the brothers, Mobster, man.
Oh, I'm curious to know because I've seen him obviously perform with Fujin in the past. And he's done really well with him. I'm curious to know what the pick for Scorpion is. If it's favorable for him, maybe as a player, or maybe there's something specific about the characters. Because once again, we didn't see Demon Breath at all, and I wonder if maybe he could have gotten a bit more utility from a different special. But generally speaking, it seems like K-Top's playing like quite a one-player game at the moment. Is really just smothering him constantly and cashing out on big damage every time he's getting a touch.
Yeah, I don't know what other ability would make sense,
Round one.
but
Fight.
maybe any. Sin Blades, Death Spin, Burning Spear, maybe even Air Grab, especially against the leaping character.
Yeah, true.
Demon Breath, we have yet to see. Come on, against Mobster.
Okay, he's gonna get that clean confirm, which is what he really needs. Gets the corner knockdown as well, only spending that one bar and coming off it. K-Top now trying to stagger and alleviate that pressure, work his way out the corner. Uh-oh.
Wow. What a flawless
No
log from
pain,
K-Top.
no gain.
All over Mobster. Match point K-Top. Eliminate
Yeah.
Mobster.
Round
And straight away with
two.
that counter hit on that 9-frame mid, the 4-3 being such an impressive button as well. You gotta be really careful about where you're backdashing to, just in case it catches you. Speaking of backdashes, we're seeing some space being opened up by Mobster. Gonna get a nice KB on that counter hit right there. Forces the breakaway off of K-Top. Had to spend the bar just to keep himself lower on the recovery.
Fought worse.
K-Top now immediate with the plus frames.
Another down 2 anti-air. Very consistent with those anti-airs. Your elbow drop. Gotta watch your head, Mobster.
I like K-Top's decision to just keep using them as well because they've been working so well for him. The delay into the 4-3. K-Top didn't have the bar to get any more damage off it, but the 1-1-2 into the dash punch is all he needs. And K-Top advancing on 3-0 over Squad Monster.
Jackie Briggs wins.
So H-Top indeed taking us to that brothers act, I shall call it. Setting
I
up
think they would
H-Top
have to
versus
win.
K-Top.
Would they have to win their next matches? Because I think that they would be playing against, so it would be H-Dope against Omi, I think, and then K-Top against Nivek, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, really?
I think it would be that way, and then they would, if they win their matches, they would have to play against each other.
Thank you very
So
much.
H-Dope Nivek,
Prediction.
Omi K-Top. So the
Wow,
other way
I was-
around. But
I
yeah,
was
if they
thinking
win their
ahead.
matches, then we could see that. I mean, it's still going to be a Greek battle between Nivek and H-Dope, right?
Right.
And then K-Top, Omi, these guys have gone head-to-head quite a few times already. But then really, if they're able to secure those games themselves, then in the losers semis, they're going to be playing off against each other. Only one of them is going to be able to make it on to the losers finals. But the winners finals as well, Blood Eyes, after a super strong and sick showing earlier. Mr. Ramirez as well. I mean, look at the 3-0s that we have. We've only got 1-3-1 in this entire top 8 so far.
It's been a quick one for sure, man. No game 5 at all. Match 5, I should say. I mean, very dominant showing by these players who advanced. Looking forward to seeing the round 2 going at it very, very shortly. But before we go into a break, let's quickly talk about the Mortal Kombat 11 merch store. Check out this awesome gear presented by yours truly, Mortal Kombat 11 Pro Kompetition. Go ahead and visit Amazon.com/Mortal Kombat to browse through apparel, t-shirts, gear for your smartphones, and go ahead and represent your region. Looking sick, man. I got a shirt myself, and I'm very, very happy about it.
Yeah, I mean,
Shout out
you
to
know,
NRS Esports.
yeah, shout outs, honestly. Really comfortable shirts, sick designs as well. And I mean, honestly, just if you're looking for some Mortal Kombat stuff, you're looking to rep your own, local region, the Intercontinental Combat North American League or the Liga Latina, you know where to get it. But before we can get into more Mortal Kombat action, we're going to throw over to a quick break. We hope you stick around, and we'll be back with more of this top 8 for EU East very soon.
You can't hold me down. Yeah, how you let me know? You won't beat the hell of call. Looks like bling. Going up, going up, going up, yeah. Going up, going up, going up, going up, yeah. Going up, going up, going up, going up, yeah.
No way! No jokes, no gimmicks, just combat.
Kompetition.
Hey guys, Ketchup and Mustard here, and it's time to test your might in the Mortal Kombat 11 Open Series. Ready to rumble? Power on your PlayStation and head to the Events app, filter by type, and select a convenient date and time. Boot up MK11 and locate the PS4 Tournaments menu option. Click it to visit a familiar place, the Console Events tab. Sign up and prepare to play. Once registered, you can view your tournament details and check-in time. A notification will remind you to tighten your black belt and get over here for your match. Continue combat in the open qualifiers to close in on the competition. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the tournaments.
PlayStation. Who are you?
I'm your worst nightmare.
Any ring I step into is mine. End of the line.
Then this fight is now personal.
It is exhausting being so perfect.
And a very warm welcome back to the Mortal Kombat 11 Pro competition here at the Intercontinental Combat here, EU East week number 6. Round 1 is all done and dusted. Let's see how the rest of the bracket plays out. I'm still Mitsu Owens, joined today by the one and only P&D Ketchup.
Grind continues, I suppose. There's been so much Mortal Kombat 11 right now, it makes your head spin. And we'll have a look at the bracket and the players that are coming up next. We've gone through that first round, as always, here in this top 8. But I like the representation. I really do. It's not... This is actually one of the first times it hasn't just been the Russia fest, if I'm going to be completely honest. We're so used to seeing Russia dominate week after week that there has been a wide variety. So our winners finals is going to be Mr. Ramirez versus Blood Eyes. Excited to see that one, especially with Blood Eyes repping that reign, especially recently. And then the Battle of Greece in losers bracket, which is a ever-growing storyline at this point. We have the conflict of Nivek, H-Dope, and K-Top, and then there's a little bit of Omi sprinkled in there as well. I think it should be a nice conclusion to this latest tournament. But on that note, the PS4 tournament, something that is forever ongoing at this stage. PS4 tournament is not just pro competition, it is also the official Open Series, which is a weekly invitational, which you qualify for on Monday. The next qualifier for that is tomorrow, for those unaware. And you can qualify to a Tuesday invitational for weekly prize money. There is a 5th tournament every month, which is a monthly finals, where there's more bragging rights and prize money to play for. You can find it all there in front of your screen. Compete.playstation.com. It is as simple as that. But like I've said many times, it's a good time to be a fan of Mortal Kombat 11. You know, we have the movie coming out. We have the plethora of competitive avenues. You know, we just had Champion of the Realms yesterday, a prominent community tournament. Shout-outs to Caboose and Destroy for that one. I think Mirko took number 1, actually, in that tournament yesterday. There's so much tournaments, Mitsu Owens. I can't keep count of it all.
It's pro competition, it's community events, it's the movie, and like you said, it's a good time to be a fan of Mortal Kombat. I think that's a good way of putting it. But let's focus on the task at hand. It is going to be losers round 1 first before we jump into winners finals. So it is going to be H-Dope versus Nivik, the Battle of the Greek Titans. Should be an interesting one.
Yeah, I mean, I can't fault you for mixing the brothers up. I've done it for 6 years now, maybe 5 if we're being technical. I can't remember. But they're two players that they are similar in appearance, but that's where it ends. Because gameplay, it's completely different. You know, we have K-Top, who is historically really, really rushdown oriented and like super aggressive. But then you take H-Dope, who has a much more kind of, I think, guttural play style. You know, heart on the sleeve, isn't afraid to just go in swinging, likes to play those kind of like brutish, brute force characters, which is why we're now seeing the Shiva, the Spawn. Shiva is a perfect character for H-Dope, and I think that's very much personified by the variation that H-Dope plays. We love to see that Shiva with the shield spin. I've been using it a little bit, actually. I used it a fair amount when we were in the player practice area for that WePlay event that recently happened. And it's just crazy how efficient yet simple that variation is. You take the shield spin, which is plus 15 on a hit. It guarantees her a 50-50. We did see Magic T trying to jump out because I think that must have been like the lesser of two evils when it comes to dealing with the mix-up. But obviously after that, we were seeing adaptations, and it's just layers upon layers of the dragon stance. So wouldn't be surprised if we see that a bit today, because Nivek's going to be in a weird situation, Mitsu Owens. You can't leap versus a Shiva that uses the stance. You just can't do it.
It's a no-flight zone, and I think it's an interesting one as well because Nivik is coming out of a loss, whereas H-Top is just looking like this dominant force this week and looking very, very good, and especially with a variation like Shiva. It's no secret that we see Shiva over and over, but
yeah,
with a variation or a move equipped that people are not familiar with. I think Falcon said it correctly, like it's a bit like a Delia's down situation, very plus, but people are unfamiliar with that situation. I think they need some time to adapt to the frames. I mean, you said what, plus 15 or 16, like very, very good. If it's a very good move. So let's see how it plays out. And maybe, I mean, Nivik is not only a Jackie player. I mean, he has a very strong Cabal. I'm not too sure if he's really comfortable with Cabal nowadays. But then again, even the air slide gas wouldn't be very in his favor. So let's just see how it plays out. But I think it is going to be a Jackie from Nivik.
It really depends on the character that H-Dope is playing, because if he plays Jackie against Shiva with the Dragon stance, that's not, believe it or not, it's not an amazing matchup for Jackie. We actually saw that at the We Play Fighting League for MK11. We saw, I think if memory serves, it was Mighty Unjust versus Foxy Grandpa. I know Foxy is generally considered the strongest competitive Shiva. He has like the best results and has been the real forefather of the Dragon stance. But in that matchup with Mighty Unjust, who has been winning open series after open series after open series, Jackie being a major component, his Shiva did not allow her to play the game at all. Like that matchup just completely nullified Jackie, because she can't leap around, she can't really move. And that's what she's built to do. And she gets outzoned by the stance and that with the grenade launcher, because her grenade launcher arcs. The stance goes full screen, obviously. So it is actually a matchup that I definitely think Jackie players do not enjoy. There is, and I'm not sure how up-to-date it is, a Pocket Fujin for Nivek. And if you're actually looking at matchups that can do well versus Shiva, Fujin is one of them. Because of all the characters that doesn't really have to care about Shiva, Fujin is quite a significant pick. I think most of it is if you want to stomp, right? You want to stomp too much, Fujin has a million ways to get around it. His regular movement can make it whiff because his wave dashing is good. His skywalk can make it whiff. His just regular old tornado, especially with the Arsenal version, can also make it whiff, and it has like a hitbox all around it. There's all kinds of ways, but I think this matchup could be decided by character select, Mitsuones. I really do.
I hope Nivik really is listening to us, because you got a point, but then again, H-Dub wasn't really spamming, excuse me, don't hate on it, the stomp too much. So I'm not sure if he really needs that Fujin pick, but I think we do have a player having difficulties coming in. So let's talk about the matchup between the players, not of the characters as a whole. I mean, it's very similar in standings. Nivik currently at 6 seeds in the Mortal Kombat 11 Pro Competition seeding for EU East with almost 500 points, whereas H-Top is sitting at the 4th seed currently with 620 points. So it's obvious that Nivik needs this win more, especially if you are at like a 5th or 6th or somewhere around, you know, the lower edge of the 8th standing, because once again, only top 8 qualifies for the regional finals at the end of the season to play for $5,000. These players today are fighting for points. The more points you have, the more likely you are to qualify for the regional finals. 350 for the winner. I mean, just a win could like skyrocket you in the standings. So just as a matchup between the players, Nivik needs this win more.
And this is normally the point where we'd be like, hey, there's plenty of time left. You know, we've got weeks, we've got months or whatever. But it is officially the 4th of April. So there actually is not as much time as we all were used to for players to get that kind of like last injection of points as we go into the finals for every sub-region. Yeah, as you quite rightly said, though, I think we're having one of our players having trouble getting into the lobby. I think they're restarting their system. See if that fixes it. I know sometimes if it takes way too long to do it, we move on to the next round. This was just one round of the next round of losers, so we could probably move into the next one if we need to, which if memory serves is Omi versus K-Top. So we might jump into that one if we absolutely cannot get into this match in time to prevent you from being stuck with our faces for any longer than you need to. But it's a good opportunity to kind of sit and recap on the competitive Mortal Kombat action that we've had very recently. We've had a whole bunch of community events. We did just have Champion of the Realms last night, and that was significant for our side of the community because it was actually a European tournament. I got to give Destroyer and Caboose their absolute shout outs for giving EU some love. But it's not just Champion of the Realms. We've had Lockdown Throwdown, courtesy of History Behind the Warrior and Falcon. You know, they've been putting in a whole bunch of work, and the EU scene and CIS for sure, got to mention both of them together, has been well represented recently, which makes me happy. And what also makes me happy is that this lobby looks like it's good to go. Now, are we going to hidden cursor this? No. H-Dope is saying, I'm going Shiva no matter what. Your character choice, I mean, look, it's up to you. You're going to have to pick what you think is the best. And
hold on a minute.
I totally forgot. I totally forgot that Nivek had a Sub-Zero. But okay, it makes sense.
Sub-Zero. Shiva.
What does it mean? What does that mean?
Sub-Zero.
I don't understand.
I mean, I can only assume this is his answer for Shiva. Either that or he was trolling with I'm going to put Shiva as well, but I wouldn't fancy his chances. The Shiva mirror is actually kind of funny because if you stomp, she stomps and she'll beat you. Simple as that.
Dimitri Vegas Sub-Zero as well, which makes me remember
Styling.
that sick song they did, or it's not a song, that track for the reveal event. I gotta listen to that again. Do 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 do. That was sick. Here it is
We now
then.
jump in the first game though. Now the stance already, but Nivek, it really depends on what moves he has. Assuming that he has the deep freeze, Sub-Zero's movement is good though, so one big thing to note is that H-Dope rarely takes the enhanced version. He's kind of more happy on his reads to use it by itself. And already we're establishing the layers. We get that plus 15 from shield spin. We enforce a grab rather than a mix-up of another kind. And now the back two into overhead, plus 15. Goes for it, but no punish on it. Oh, that would have been a blender, but not
Too
quite.
slow. The back one to punish. Gets the reversal throw though. This is still doable. Wow! Barely out of there with the stomp.
There's the amp. Lovely awareness. This is not the first time these two players have clashed in tournaments, so Nivek will absolutely know about that flawless blockable gap. Most players don't. It actually goes back into the somehow unfamiliarity factor. Yeah, it's weird saying people aren't used to fighting Shiva now, but when the shield spin, a lot of people do not flawless block that final hit.
That was so smart though, going with the EX fireballs. Nullified. Defensive bar from Nivek.
Now, there's one element of Nivek using the slide to get around the stomp, is that he's likely to make it miss. However, while he's recovering from slide, Stomp's recovery will finish. He's not going to consistently get a punish if he uses the slide. I think he just wants to get around it. The punish isn't going to be the main objective, but who cares about that when we have the corner pressure and an opportunity to mix. There's that panic down two that says, look, if I'm going to lose the round, eat this uppercut anyway, mate.
That was a bit unfortunate, man. I don't think he wanted to hit the slide. I think he wanted to go under her to reverse the positions. Taking the round regardless. What?
Hey, if you're going to dedicate to a slide to beat the stomp, the delay does create that mix-up anyway. Nice reversal slide. One round apiece here for game one. A delay again. There is absolutely a mix-up here, Mitsuones, of delay or not delay when you want to answer back with the slide alone. Oh, he tries to interrupt!
Not getting out of harm's way with that slide. Might as well try a forward dash or back dash or whatever. Yeah, and that's the problem. Like, he's not getting out of that. Or it's not in his favor, really. Yeah, he did get hit by the slide, but he finds himself full screen against a Shiva with Dragon Stance equipped. Not gonna be in your favor. Might as well backdash and try to fish for a punish. H-Dope taking the first game here against Nivek.
I think the main problem that Nivek had there really was that his answer to the stomp didn't really seem like a very good one.
Yeah.
His answer was going in with the slide, but that slide having the recovery that it does means that if he mistimes the slide and H-Dope just delays the stomp, he's going to stomp you, and it creates a situation. Because this variation, the regular stomp, really shouldn't be the main component. There are many other moving parts. You've got the stance, the low, and the shield spin. This is a brawler variation, built around getting close, built around hitting you that constant 50-50. In some cases more, because you throw the regular grab in there as well, and you're going to be insane to neutral duck plus 15 to make that hard read. But the stomp creates that situation. That's why it can be dangerous. But Nivek constantly going in for the slide as his answer, and to be honest, just getting the wrong call out on the timing, that just allowed H-Dope to have a very one-dimensional game plan. I stomp, I get the good call out, I then get my mix-up, and that's basically as simple as that. I'm worried about Nivek if he keeps answering back with the slide, unless, you know, maybe he mixes up the timing or something. We'll have to see.
Let's see.
Oh, no!
Game 2 underway as H-Dope is still up 1-0 against Nivek here. Let's see how Nivek answers back.
Stomp has been a real problem, looking for the reversal slide, but the start actually catches him. The cancel so you don't get punished. The down 4 to create a situation, and now a little bit of damage. We go back to full screen. Wake up stomp. Yeah, Nivek is having a real hard time with it so far, though. Absolutely, and he challenges it. Plus 15, hold the mix. Oh,
that's the
call
issue.
out.
Yeah, that's the issue, man. You gotta respect that to a certain extent anyway. All over Nivek is H-Dope. And has him cornered as well.
Round 2, fight.
This is the next layer. You want to jump out of the plus 15 and... Oh, armor break! Hold your chest. Oof.
Ouch! 38 almost.
Flawless block again, but no consistent answer. Didn't really have any meter, right? So what can you do? You've just been armor broken. Able to somehow fall out with the challenge. Nivek is getting absolutely obliterated by this. Now that forward four. The overhead comes out. Sub-Zero. It is his time.
Is it though?
It has to be. It's now or never, right? Oh.
Rather never. It is going to be in game 2 anyway. H-Dub just one step ahead. Getting that wake-up jump as well.
The way that he's playing Sub-Zero in this matchup, Mitsuones, I don't think this is very good against Shiva. I don't know if he has any other characters, but I don't think this is the character for the job. I think that if he had a Fujin, surely that's the one you pick. I know he played Fujin at the very beginning.
It might either be Fujin or Jackie next. I mean, that Sub-Zero, I think on paper it was a smart idea, but it just did not work out.
He'll be just giving the win on a silver plate if he picks Jackie, certainly. I've seen H-Dope play that matchup before. He's so efficient at it.
Wow.
Again, the same match. I mean, surely, I wonder if Nivek is in a situation where he doesn't feel like he has a tournament-ready character to fight Shiva with. Because, I mean, he's having a hard time dealing with the layer 1 of Shiva. That's the first problem.
Creeping ice. Did we see that earlier? I don't think we saw that.
I think so. He just hasn't. He hasn't really had an opportunity to do anything. It's been
right.
He's only. The creeping ice is often used as like safety on the mix or whatever, but he's never point blank enough to enforce anything. Lovely confirm though. And Nivek. Sounds weird, but surely the game needs to be to rush it down all day, every day. You can't be in the neutral because you're gonna get stumped.
Oh, unfortunately, not finding the confirm out of that 1-2. H-Dub refusing to block, it seems like.
And now we use the stance on block. This is going to create that shield spin situation, but again, you can just delay it. And the good block, but no punish. The 1-2 doesn't have the range to punish it. I think Sub-Zero's back 3, if I recall, is the one that we often see.
Back 3 should be in range. The life blade slowly depleting for Nivek, man. Confirm with the slides. Decides to lame it out. Maybe? Seems like it.
Oh, the immediate stomp. I think Nivek wanted to do a late. And again, the wrong punish. Oh, and he misses the slide. Nivek had that win on a silver plate, but once again, using the wrong punish. He's just... To be honest with you, Mitsuones, he's not playing against Shiva very well here. He really isn't. When he's blocking the scoop and he's punishing it with 1-2, that is not Sub-Zero's punish, and he's tried it twice.
I mean, that's the sign to me of someone who has a pocket character. Usually, like with a tournament-ready character, you have your punishes on them. That might be a sign of this being a pocket Sub-Zero.
Uh-oh, that's gonna hurt.
And he's just throwing the kitchen sink at him at this point.
Oh, of course, reversal punish still gives you the crushing blow. How could I forget? I'm so used to seeing it be an armor breaker. And that stomp, the whip.
Oh, okay.
All right, back 3.
Better than sliding, seems like.
I mean, I'm assuming it won't cover both options, but we'll see. We'll have to see. One stomp on a dream, and you got 10%. Oh, watch out. Chip, chip. The delay, down 1. So sneaky.
Yeah.
Oh!
No, he knew. He saw that slide coming. H-Dope over Nivek in a 3-0 fashion. Hear the music, but we don't see it. Unfortunate.
We don't. We know what was happening.
Well, we see it in delay.
I actually saw a comment in chat just now that says, why is no one punishing the spinning dragon? The reason for that is because you're looking for the flawless block gap. So Nivek was able to establish in game 1 that he has the flawless block on the amplify of spinning dragon. And when you're waiting for the amplify, the regular version works. It's very comparable to, for example, when you see noob Cybot players do shadow slide on block and they don't amp it, even though they've got meter to amp it, because you're waiting for the amp. And you sneakily get away with it. And it reached a point where if you hesitate at all on the punish, you just press a button late, Shiva's next button press might catch you. We actually saw that a couple of times where H-Dope went for spinning dragon, didn't amp it, did a back one, and the back one actually worked because Nivek went, oh, he hasn't amped it. I'm going to press. Bam, get hit by the back one. It's just a layer. It's a layer that she can play if you try and answer back on amp. And unfortunately, Mitsuone's Nivek had a real problem with that matchup. It just wasn't doing the right punishes when the punishes approached themselves. Can't really speak about the Stomp because I'm not crazy knowledgeable over what Sub-Zero can do against the Stomp if he has options. I know he's got good forward movement, but is that enough? I'm not particularly sure because I don't play the character. But the other stuff that was more apparent was those punishes on Scoop. They weren't there, and that was a huge problem.
The 1-2 not being the right punish, maybe the back 3. I don't think he tried it a single time. I think he tried something else than the 1-2, but it was just... Oh yeah, the back 1 being probably a bit too slow, but all in all, it was just a little too late for Nivek, and this puts H-Dope in a very good position, man. Points-wise anyway, we have K-Top, his brother, already, I'm sure, qualifying with over 1,100 points, man. He's looking very good. And H-Dope might be confirming his spots in the regional finals as well, especially depending on how well he does in this tournament. We'll see him later. But the dream of the Brothers Act is still in play. We might see the brothers going at it, H-Dope versus K-Top. Speaking of K-Top, we'll see him next versus Omi right now in Losers Round 2.
Now, this is absolutely a matchup that we're going to see Jackie from K-Top. But Omi has played not just Sub-Zero. We know Omi is a Sub-Zero player, but I've seen Jade from Omi before, and the Jade actually looks really good too. It's a Delia's Dance. Now, granted, it's been a while since I've seen that, so whether Omi is still playing the Jade remains to be seen. What will the pick be right here?
I mean, that doesn't make sense against a Jackie. Maybe because of the down 2 in case of Philippe, but other than that, I'm not sure. What projectile are you nullifying other than the grenade?
I mean, the grenade launcher is a pretty big projectile to nullify though. Especially when you shut down. If you have the glow active and she tries to leap and use shrapnel blast, she'll completely blow through it, right? So that's definitely
Oh, it means the shrapnel blast?
Yeah, because it's a projectile.
There it is then.
And she fires the grenade launcher out of it, so it kind of just goes hand in hand, really. And then you got the projectile nullifier, you got the down 2, you've got pressure, and Delia's Dance allows you to have a bit more pressure because if you want to do the back 3 string, which normally has a gap in it at the end, Delia's Dance completely plugs the gap and it gives you good chip. We saw tons of Jade from Sonic Fox, actually, at the Weekly event recently, last week. And Jade did damage, let me tell you. But now we go in.
Activate,
It looked like she actually still took damage on the floor, though, even though she has the blow. So I guess that is going to be a thing in this matchup.
Okay. Oh, play. Ouch. 40% just like that, man. Another clean jump in from K-Top.
Oh!
Just a slap.
Oh, it's not going to quite cut it. Now, that was clearly just a mistime. That was clearly just a mistime on the punish there, but one thing K-Top will do, it is the many layers of Jackie's offense. I'm just seeing K-Top losing to... Basically, I can't actually recall the play. I think it might have just been Mirko, but it was blocking all day, realizing that K-Top... If K-Top doesn't need to grab, he doesn't like to. He much prefers the pressure. However, when you enforce grabs into your game, it just makes the mids more devastating. That's all there is to it. And it makes K-Top a lot scarier and unpredictable. Nice catch, though.
Oh!
Yep.
Oh,
that's going to be it. Yeah, ignore the health there. So when it comes to damage over time and crushing blows, there's definitely still a bit of a visual bug. The damage is right. It's just that the visual representation of it on the health bars sometimes kind of takes a couple of seconds to catch up with itself. When I very first saw that, I was like, wait, what? What's going on there? But rest assured, the damage is the way it should be. It's just sometimes the life bar gets a bit confused. The first win for K-Top. Here we go.
Quite decisive win as well. I mean, on paper, what you said, what I didn't know, the Shrapnel Blast being nullified by the glow. We didn't see that in play.
The Joker.
And we shall not see it in play at all in this set, it seems like, as Omi decides to go with the Joker as the answer to K-Top's Jackie here.
Yeah, Joker doesn't do terribly. He has a lot of answers to the kind of section of the screen that Jackie commands, or otherwise commands. In this case, we have Jumping Jester, Kapow with crazy corner carry. Now, we talk about the damage and everything off Kapow, but that can sometimes take you just shy of coast to coast. If you land a hit mid-screen and that combo finishes without being broken, you're pretty much in the corner. But
Wow.
Right place, right time, right as Omi spends a bar as well. Oof, that's a feels bad, man. Wow, back-to-back pokes. Smashing out here on both sides. Jump in though, and that gives another opening, an opportunity for K-Top. No breaker for Omi. Nice block from the overhead though, and there's the Kapow. K-Top has no bar. This is gonna hurt.
Wow. D2. One more combo. Good block.
Uh-oh.
Oh, this is gonna hurt in the corner. Jumping kick. It's gonna be.
No! There's no way that was intentional.
And
surely that projectile could not have been intentional at that range.
Out of all things, Ketchup, out of all things, he goes with the straight gunshot.
I mean, I
is that a jumping
cannot
gesture?
in good conscience say that that was intentional. Surely he was walking back and he tried to do forward one. Like at that range, you wouldn't do a projectile that slow recovering.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's back forward one. That's meant to be. Oh lordy lord. Anyway, K-Top. He's in a great situation now. The down one to steal the turn. The staggers on the mid. And Omi with a round loss that could probably affect him in some way.
To say the least. They're both blocking now. Not overzealous with the pokes. 2. Plus. And the interactable. Smart
Plus
play.
frames to 20%. Oh, hurts so good. There's no way Omi can't challenge. That was a game where we really, Bitcoins did not get a chance to see if Joker actually was the right pick. I think no matter what character he played there, that game could have happened. So surely, does he just go Joker again? I don't know. Surely.
I mean, you put it best. We didn't see a lot of Joker.
There was no chance.
We didn't see it. It could have been any other character. But that interaction in that first round, that was just unfortunate. It must have been something that didn't work as intended.
Well,
that straight gunshot, no, I don't think so.
If I recall, and by all means, chat, feel free to quote, let me know, correct me. I don't know why it took me so long to look for that word, but it's a common problem that some Jokers have when they walk back and they try and do a forward one, right? Because sometimes if you do that input too fast, you get back forward one, which if I recall is the projectile. I think you half circle it. It kind of reminds me of the old MKX days where Quan Chi players would walk back and then they'd try and do a certain button. They'd half circle it to make sure. Oh no, it was Warlock actually. You walk back and try and do forward 3, you'd get trance rather than the business kick. So if you half circle it, it gives you down forward 3, which isn't an input, right? I think it's a very similar thing here with Joker. I can only assume Omi didn't do it. That's why he got caught, or whatever it was.
See if he can bring it back here, Omi, against K-Top. Plus. Yeah, trying to stagger. K-Top is having none of it. Immediately poking out of that.
I'm glad Omi took some time though in this character select to just kind of stabilize and back to that turn. Just give yourself time to get over it. However, right as you fire a projectile, here comes a leaping Jackie once again. Ouch! 35%.
Maybe he did mean it after all. After seeing that.
That was at least that one was full screen. It was just a right place, right time leap for K-Top.
Keep it simple.
Combo.
No, Kapow! Omi, stop playing with us!
I'm not sure about what's going on here, Mr. Owens. I'm a little bit worried for Omi. I know he won the round, but it was not a clean round. Oh!
Yeah, no down 2. And he has a good down 2 with that range. The cane.
Absolutely.
Good pick up.
Oh, lovely trade. To be honest with you, not a terrible situation. To walk back, and again, this time it does work. There is an element of it stopping some jumps because it comes out so high. It's not the end of the world for Joker, but K-Top has been there. I don't know whether he just has a crystal ball at hand, but he kind of just knows that couldn't have been intentional.
I mean,
oh,
you
no.
gotta be kidding me. What duck from K-Top, man?
Ouch. It's going to be a lot of damage.
He's unlikely. It's going to
And,
be chip territory. Flank
Grenade
carpet.
launcher.
There it is. I mean, this is bullying. This is bullying. Catch up! Can't move. Oh, this is the corner. No, this is the corner.
Joker, no, you loafers!
Ah,
A
damn.
flaming pool, eh?
Final round.
Oh, these brand new loafers should make short work of it. And over.
Oh no, how unfortunate for Omi. It's going to be match point K-Top.
I don't know why he... Maybe he just wanted to end the game in a different part of the screen, but I don't know why he went in and... I'll talk about it later, because I could go on about this for a long time, but I was very confused about that end to the round, as now this could be the end to the game. Walk up grab, the neutral duck into the poke. Oh, God! Swinging point blank, almost able to punch his eyelashes off.
Good anti-air catch.
Oh, no!
These grabs are just now working out for Omi, man. No breakaway as well.
By the time you can break the block 30%,
Yeah,
surely
I
must
know.
decide that it's not worth it.
Oh, yes!
No confirm though, Mitsu owns.
Oh, come on, no pain, no flow. Omi, you gotta keep it together to stay alive here. This corner as well. Wow! Probably looking for a flawless block. Not coming out, and the down two when he needed it the most. Questionable down two, but it was going to be good with that range. Omi staying alive, but man, oh man, does he have to work hard.
Yeah, that kind of game, it's really important for Omi because it just gives you that kind of quick sigh of relief to say, I can actually do this. Because that set was running away from him at 1,000 miles an hour, and it can be so easy to feel so demoralized in that third game to think, what can I even do here? You're getting overwhelmed by Jackie, the pressure is insane, the drops are real, you've lost a round in a really weird way. It's like getting that game just allows you to remind yourself that you're in this set for a reason, and the chance of getting 2 more of those can absolutely go up if you just get your head together a little bit. Naomi, I believe we can definitely see a reverse sweep here, but K-Top, what's his answer back going to be?
I feel like Omi still has to tighten things up, man. Those confirms, those drops, those can haunt you, man, especially against someone like K-Top, who's super on point with his execution. He makes every hit count, whereas Omi leaving a lot on the table.
Walking right up and that mid comes in out of nowhere. Oh dear! Kapow uses a poke. Again, it's hard to decide if that was actually intentional because I'm not used to seeing it used like that. This is overwhelming pressure, K-Top. Oh!
Yeah, I mean, it's just too many situations where we have to give Omi the benefit of a doubt. Like, was that intentional? Was that a mistake? Like, it's just too many mistakes at this point, at stage in the tournament.
Oh, and we're in the corner. It's going to give us extra damage thanks to this stage in particular. We're into the empty jump throw. That dash punch giving you so much OP to work with.
Yeah.
Yo, the flawless block on the wake up. That was...
Didn't confirm it, but I don't think it's gonna matter at this point as Omi's just stuck on this left side of the screen. Empty or raw fatal blow, I should say.
Ew,
Surely that
what a
was not
mess.
intentional.
Pop goes
That
your
had
head.
to have been a cancel. That had to have been a cancel. Because you don't fatal blow with that much life to go.
But
Omi clearly frustrated.
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's too many situations where we have to guess. Like, was that intentional? Was that a mistake? It was just too many drops or mistakes or input errors or whatever it was for Omi to, you know, take it over someone like K-Top, who's looking very, very strong this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to look too far into it, perhaps, but I think the instant disconnect, the second finish him happened as well. I think there was clearly a bit of frustration coming through because almost everything that could have gone wrong for Omi went wrong. Not a lot went right for him. And I know it sounds almost like hilariously skin-deep analysis, but sometimes those sets happen where nothing works. The drops are insane. Inputs don't work the way you want them to. You get moves by accident. I can only assume that some of those moves were not intentional, like the Kapow used at that range. I'm not used to seeing that. The back forward one in game 1 or game 2, I think it was actually, because it was Jade first. Just many, many disasters that K-Top, hey, look, it's not his fault or problem. He's going to take it no matter what. And that now means that we actually, in fact, should have the Battle of the Brothers, K-Top versus H-Dope, in our top 4 and our winners finals. Between Mr. Ramirez and Blood Eyes. I'm curious about this one because I'm not sure about the matchup. Rain seems to be a real new hotness for Blood Eyes. And Mr. Ramirez, I know, really loves to play Scarlet, and especially since Ultimate has gone into Scarlet a whole bunch, but we've seen Sindel, clearly. So what character would you use against Rain, I wonder?
Wonder no longer, because we are indeed going back to winner's side of action. It is going to be Blood Eyes versus Mr. Ramirez. But before we jump into it, let's quickly give a big thank you to Astro Gaming, the official audio partner of the Mortal Kombat 11 Pro competition. What you hear is powered by Astro Gaming, so go ahead and check out astrogaming.com to see their officially licensed audio products, which are available right now on the market. But in saying that, yeah, we shall see that brothers clash in losers later on, which is quite exciting. But even winners finals, man, Blood Eyes was looking super, super strong in round 1. So I'm really excited to see him taking on Mr. Ramirez. Should be an interesting one, to say the least.
We've just seen the CIS community more than well represented recently. You know, just for many of us, I'm sure, that watched the We Play Ultimate Fighting League last week, we had 2 CIS players in the top 8. The only 2 CIS players that were present, Azerbaijan and Arn Kratos, and they both were able to secure their top 8 finishing spots. Azerbaijan really was one of the MVPs of that entire event. Arn Kratos dismantling most people in his first group stage. I've said it before, and I'll say it again, that I truly believe that the CIS community as a whole is more dangerous in MK11 than they've ever been in any NRS game, because there are so many talented players from all of those different countries that it's great. It's great because their community is huge, by the way. You know, for those that don't know, the Russian community alone for Mortal Kombat is massive. Not just for MK11, but for other MK games. I know Russia has a thriving Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 community still to this day with like crazy entry numbers. I mean, I'm all about the classics, man, but that level of support for their favorite game, I'm always going to have to show respect for.
I mean, even back in MKX, we saw a specific region just being CIS. And the Russians back in the day, man, I think it was a gimmick that every Russian was like having a Johnny Cage. We saw like so many Johnny Cages coming from the CIS region. But even back in the day, they were qualifying for events, man. They were qualifying for championships. It was just a matter of visa issues and whatever to not get them in to get to shine, man, in offline competition. Thankfully, nowadays it's a bit easier. Seems like anyway, but not nowadays, but technically nowadays. You get what I mean. So, yeah, it's good to see CIS being in good hands, man. The NRS CIS scene, it's good to see the outpouring support, especially when some of their boys is playing, man. You see chats being filled with, like, Russian texts and whatever, just really, really cheering on their fellow players. It's a good thing, man. It's good to see.
Now, Sindel versus the Rain. Mr. Ramirez clearly picking a bit more Sindel recently, which, to be fair, was the most successful character Mr. Ramirez had before Ultimate's release. It was mostly loud and clear. But what's the variation this time? I didn't see a haircut. I saw 3 moves. Haircut's a 2-slot. Banshee Dash, Whip and Flip, and the Low Star Screamer. Okay, let's see what he brings to the table with this, because the extra element of Blood Eyes, swapping that Hydroplane for Tidal Wave, that low, which is a low on its own, the safety of the -8 on amp, but also a really decent poke. It has more range by itself than many people expect, so that might kind of somewhat compete with Sindel's forward 4. We'll have to wait and see.
Mr. Ramirez was looking so good with that Sindel. Being a bit lame, but very effective. Like when I say lame, it just means like effective, good, smart.
Slow and defensive.
Yeah,
well, that's what Sindel does really well. Yo, short hop into Banshee Dash, almost saw a conversion of that. Ramirez always had these crispy Banshee Dash situations. The combos The amp scream, of course, which gives her her highest damage, and we have escape failed straight away.
Uh-huh. 50% gone just like that.
And there's the mix-up. The second you have Tidal Wave, it opens up that 1-3 game to be far more devastating. That's first grab, Blood Eyes doing the right thing and just blocking, you know, waiting for his turn. D gets grabbed, who cares? And a down 4. Qatar is going to do the job for round 1.
This is tricky. Mr. Ramirez was so effective earlier against a Livik, but Blood Eyes is so good with his movement. It seems like he is going to be finding his way in regardless, even if he needs a projectile or two on his way in.
I mean, the life bar is just one resource of many. And the plus frames, oh, I mean, we're online too, right? So those short hops are going to be a lot harder to deal with. You take the plus frames of Tidal Wave and then you create a short hop on top, it can be quite scary, I imagine. See that? Ooh! Flawless block on the jumping again, yeah. Absolutely. There's an element of Hydro Boost now. Flawless blocks become a lot more apparent. Oh!
Wow, that could have been sick, Ketchup. That would have been sick.
That was anime. Being able to back 2 out of there.
No pickups. Not gonna matter. Blood Eyes.
Wow. I'm gonna say, being able to hit that clean back 2-1, it's almost strange that Mr. Ramirez got clipped by it. I mean, clearly hard reads to be made. Fatal Blow was ready, and if you get a good neutral duck or something, or a wake-up button, you are going to be able to win the game on it. But that meaty back 2 at that situation, that was going to confirm into anything. Not that he even needed it, because only a little bit of life was needed as Blood Eyes takes that first game. Yo, Rain? If Rain gets Grand Finals winner side, that would be excellent.
That wouldn't be surprising to me. The way that Blood Eyes is playing today wouldn't be surprising at all. Very, very good, man.
He's been on the grind with this character. He really has. Blood Eyes, formerly known as a pretty much Frost-only specialist. And then when Rain came out, started to really take a liking to this character, but put that scientific mind to good use. Being able to play different variations, just like when he plays Frost. But Rain, this guy, glides across the screen, the best movement in the entire roster. And a nice combination of movement. He tends to have Geyser Palm all the time. Tidal Wave can be really important for some matchups. Now this full screen game is where Mr. Ramirez will have the advantage. Rain has movement and buttons, but they're very stubby. He doesn't have a lot of range to work with himself. Ooh! Yo, he was looking for the KV there. Cheeky. Oh,
wow.
Another flawless block. He actually tried to do a slightly later one too, I think, to mess with the timing, but I can imagine that might have beat the 3 as well, Mixones.
I wouldn't know that mix-up. But you can't call it that.
Oh, good block on the low.
Good punish.
Looking for it.
Good punish. What patience from Mr. Ramirez. Good spacing as well.
I like that he has the awareness to look at the game that's been established, right? We have the Tidal Wave, which means that when I blocked 1-3, it is fuzzyable normally, but I think online, I'm not particularly sure it is. I know our netcode's really, really good, but that 3 frames that's introduced can sometimes be enough on those tight little mix-ups. Yo, the forward 4 stagger.
No punish though! Wow, blowing up the back 2 attempt.
Oh!
Wow, short top over the down 1.
Blood Eyes with the wake up button. Geyser Palm. Is he Geyser Palm again? Yes, indeed. Put us back into the corner for those double-digit plus frames on a regular Geyser Palm. I think it's like plus 20. No!
Beautiful stuff from Mr. Ramirez. Now, this might be one of those situations, Ketchup. One of those situations, Ketchup. Here it is. And the EX Scream. Wow, that was down to less than 1% actually. Help.
I mean, Mr. Ramirez outpatient Blood Eyes. That's what happened there. We know that there's going to be some kind of option here from Blood Eyes. You can't afford to just sit there and let Sindel kind of make the first move when one hit will take you out. Tries to delay the Qatar toss. I mean, to give him his credit, he tried to do it at an unpredictable time, using it straight away as what a lot of us would have been waiting for if we were in Combat League or something. But Mr. Ramirez was happy to just sit and wait, because if I block your Qatar, I know that if I can keep Scream range, I get it, and you have to hold it. And that's exactly what happened. And now, 1-1. Sindel versus Rain, winners finals. You do not get to see this matchup every day, least of all at this stage of the tournament. Top 3, let's go.
So the equalizer from Mr. Ramirez. 1-1 in this winners finals. We get our first game 5.
It's been a rather fast day so far, hasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
One-sided matchup. Rain looks so good.
Wow.
Pick up. Yo, the raw jump in. And that is going to give Rain his highest damage. Now, it doesn't go for an ender, just in case there's a break, perhaps. However, 29% before you've even done your last hit. The flawless block into the respect being shown. The 1-3 stagger. Wait a minute. You want to block below? You want to look for the punish? Guess what? I'm just going to stagger it now. Oh!
Wow. What round from Blood Eyes. All over Mr. Ramirez.
Two reverse warriors have already been taken. The ball and striker. Oh! Reversal grab. Put Rain in the corner now, or just near it. Sindel, lovely forward to.
Oh, block overhead.
Press, I think. Another lovely flawless block.
Double flawless block, man. Mr. Ramirez. The reaction. All of a sudden, a decisive round, it seems like, from Mr. Ramirez, man. This is the back and forth.
The Star Screamer being able to go underneath. Ooh!
What an answer, man.
For it anyway. Nice catch.
Final round. Fight.
Oh, the whip and flip put him in the corner. That is disastrous.
I'm not sure about that, man. It was working out without playing so unsafely.
Down forward to the cheeky guitar plus frames. Challenging it on hit. The throw tech now. That really weird Rain jump 3, which is so good. Basically, Black Adam's jump kick and justice.
Uh-oh. Big punish on that forward 2.
The problem with this variation is that that really is as good as it's going to get in the same side situation, because any other big damage would have put Mr. Ramirez out the corner. Now the hit was like, ooh, that would have been a big catch. Big damage to be dealt. Ooh, not quite. The cheeky little trip win.
Still doable for Mr. Ramirez. As Blood Eyes cornered, but man, he can't take many more of those trades. Wow, still gets it down 1, even though he did go.
Wait a minute, a scream and a cream. That's what we have.
Oh no! Not at range. More.
Oh!
I can't.
A weird ending, you know.
I mean, you really win with that?
And there's many different things. It all depends on the meter, it depends on your options. We saw the Scream, 1 bar spent on it. You know, if that Scream counter hit, Mr. Ramirez was going to win the round because the Fatal Blow was there. We have the Banshee Dash, obviously. Not that we would have been able to see a cancel there. Specifically anyway, because of the meter. But that's just a hard call, and I guess it works out, but it was sweating at the end.
It's so hard for me to believe that you opted to go with that, man. But hey, it worked out. So I guess it was the right call. So we have a 2-1 situation. Eyes in the lead. This is a worthy winners finals, by the way, so far, man. Not a speed run whatsoever, like some of these past matchups. So let's see who advances to grand finals here. Blood Eyes needing 1 more. Can Mr. Ramirez stay alive here in this match 4? There it is. That's what he needed. Last game.
And we just create a situation where we can keep the standing, keep the pressure, In this instance, the Rift hasn't actually needed to be used very much because Blood Eyes has spent so much of the game controlling that point flank situation. Oh, wow, the first hit forward 3 clashed with the back 2. Didn't see that encounter every day.
Good log, C4. Hey! Try to keep it up as well. Hold on a minute, don't get too greedy. This is Rain.
Now that back 2 tidal wave is always going to be, I think, an important part of this game plan because the back 2 gap disappears. They want to forward block back 2-1 or back 2-1-2, I think the string is. Tidal wave and get rid of that. But now, alright, now on the board here for Mr. Ramirez, the up 3. You need a huge amount. Again, trying to answer back on that jumping, but range jump 3 is so weird.
Find that projectile, the hair flip. Needs to be punished by that guitar toss.
Being able to nullify that Star Screamer, it makes your guitar toss a lot more effective. Normally, she would just low profile right underneath it. And we even saw it go underneath the mid version on Amplified. So 1-3 for stagger. Again, I like this combination of Tidal Wave and Hydro Boost because you want to answer back with the gap or whatever. Here comes Hydro Boost to completely blow it up. And now a match point here for Blood Eyes is Rain. Gonna be grand final winners. I'd love to see it. Ah, we're starting to see the back 1. Okay. Back 1 stagger on hit on its own. Really plus. A lot of this buttons are plus.
Oh!
Oh!
You realized that he was cybernetic what? I forgot the name. Anyway, he had the interactable. Missed disposal.
It was smoke. There it is.
Thank you, Mr. Announcer.
I only ever play on the stage, man. It's got the boys in the background. Well, kind of. Cyborg, I guess, is probably more comparable, but here we go. The forward throw.
Oh! Restand as well. And the 4-2!
Couple more percent in it.
What's the play gonna be like? And another assist!
Yo, Cyrax's bomb doesn't count as a projectile. Let's go.
Wow.
God, Cyrax finds a way to break every game, doesn't he? He really does. Oh, I assume we've had a disconnect here.
Well,
some
thankfully,
sort. No, never mind. We're good. We're back.
Thankfully, at the end of the round anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Just can't get whoever back in if there was going to be disconnect. But what ending to that game, man.
That actually makes me laugh how Cyrax isn't even in this game and still manages to find a way to break rules. So I guess that's it. I guess that is a question being answered, that the rift that nullifies projectiles does not nullify the cyborg bombs. They just mustn't count as projectiles, right? I can only assume. Never seen that encounter before.
Yeah, that was a proof of concept, but it's also ironic because Blood Eyes did go with the smoke assist, and maybe that's when Mr. Ramirez was like, hey, hold on a minute, I still have like 2 bombs at my disposal. And Sector, or Cyrix I should say, coming through once again, coming through with the assist, and that was the game changer, quite literally. We have a game 5 situation very, very shortly as we get, I think, Blood Eyes back into the lobby. Thankfully, man, that disconnect didn't happen like 10 seconds earlier or whatever, man. That would have been unfortunate.
It could have actually been like even less than that, like 5 seconds, right in the closing moment. But I'm glad it didn't because we got to see that encounter. But yeah, game 5, one of the first times we're actually able to see it, if not the first time so far. But hey, look, it's the 2 strongest players of the day fighting winners finals. It makes sense. But it was also a great matchup to see because Mr. Ramirez has always had a kind of Sindel that has been dangerous in the neutral anyway, because when I remember seeing Mr. Ramirez in the Sindel, it was loud and clear during Aftermath. Most of Aftermath, actually, if not all of it. And that version of Sindel didn't have a conventional projectile. The Banshee Dash has projectile properties if you're using it to play keep away. But at the same time, now you have a projectile at your disposal and the Banshee Dash. Sindel's able to be a little bit more multi-layered. And you take a player like Mr. Ramirez, who was already dangerous with Sindel anyway on a variation that not a lot of people played. now he's got more utility on top of the most dangerous part of why he played Sindel in the first place. So, Game 5, everyone. Blood Eyes versus Mr. Ramirez. Only one of these players will be the winner's side grand finals. The loser waiting in losers finals in the winner of H-Dope or K-Top.
This is one of those situations, man. 110 points between those players, man. Blood Eyes currently with 490, Mr. Ramirez with 380. So on paper, Mr. Ramirez needing this victory more, but both of them needing these points to make sure they qualify for the regional finals at the end of the season. Match 5, here it is. What a fast start to the match as well.
Oh, that instant short hop I think definitely meant to be a short hop banshee dash. That side switch, something I really like from Blood Eyes, that back 1, back 4 string that he uses. He only ever uses it basically to put himself out the corner. And I don't really think it's that punishable. Can't really answer back on the string too much. So it's kind of almost seen as a why not? I may as well get myself out of that situation. But now mid-screen somewhere that Mr. Ramirez is happy to work with. Fatal blow. Oh, hang on a minute. Oh yeah, I totally got mixed up there. I do believe the names are not quite the right way around, but you know, we had a disconnect from a player, so that's understandable. Empty jump grab.
What a tech.
Oh! Oh!
I'm really surprised it didn't go with another forward 4.
Round 2.
That's ship territory situation. So match points, Mr. Ramirez, there it is.
The flawless block and the jump in, that's really good to mess up the frames at the very least, but here comes that big chunk of damage, 18%. Now Rain, and yeah, but no pickup, can't quite get the down 1 there. Hang on a minute, Rain. Is this going to be the opportunity now for Blood Eyes to bring it back? The 1-3, but too far away. I think it actually went for the regular rising version, not the forward. Interruption.
Looking to take it back, Blood Eyes. Once again, these names are currently switched. We're working on that to get that fixed for you. So Ramirez still on match points.
Oh no! What? The scream was active,
still active,
and Blood Eyes pressed a button. What? I've never seen that before. What happened though?
It must have been the very last frame on the screen.
I mean, that scream only crushing blows when it's a counter hit, right? And that was late in the frames. He stood up late and got hit by the crushing blow. He must have done delayed wake up into button press. And like you said, it must have been like the absolute late section of the screen. But an unfortunate end there for Blood Eyes and winners, I will admit. But Mr. Ramirez continuing to play incredibly well, and it has been. Sindel, man, she's been the pick of the day for Mr. Ramirez, and it's great to see him doing well now with that grand finals appearance. Good stuff.
That was a back and forth, man. That was a worthy winners finals. Quite literally back and forth. And we have Mr. Ramirez qualifying for grand finals. If memory serves me right, that is a guaranteed 300 points. As I look into my notes, no, 260, but good points regardless. Looking good to make region finals as well.
We're in our top 4. We're about to find out who's going to meet Blood Eyes in the losers finals. Because now, you know, the points are good. You know, you get a decent chunk of points at this top 4 situation anyway. But now the Battle of the Brothers, where we can talk about their mains all day, every day. Going to be honest, it's irrelevant because they're fighting each other. I have no clue who they're going to play. They do not tend to run the conventional. We don't see Jackie versus Shiva. We don't see Jackie or Shiva at all, actually, when they go head-to-head. They've picked some weird characters. And the reason for that is often that they practice against each other so much and they play so many characters. We can't go into this matchup with any kind of established meta. Whoever works in their practice games is who we see here. And it could be the last character you expect. From one twin brother to another, this is something that you are never ready for, I promise.
I'm sure you can tell us a story about that one. So let's see how it plays out. H-Dope taking on K-Top. But before we jump into it, let's quickly talk about PS4 Tournaments, the presenting partner of the Mortal Kombat 11 Pro competition. Check out the weekly tournaments, which are open qualifiers for all skill levels. Compete against your friends and rivals for unique rewards. Go ahead and visit the PlayStation 4 Competition Center, the one destination that has all the content and tournaments and gives you tips and tricks for all skill levels. Go ahead and sign up at compete.playstation.com with their PSN ID. And once again, I think it's a beautiful story how many people are using that platform, which is very easily accessible and just takes so much work from you, man. You don't have to submit scores. You don't have to invite your opponent really so many times and whatever, man. Don't have to take screenshots.
It doesn't
Evidence. It really does, man. It really simplifies online tournaments. And once again, man, Oceania Week 3, 40 entrants, man. No, just 40 registered players. And just the other day, we had over 100. As we say, bless you to catch.
I'm really sorry. I tried so hard to hold that off, but we reached a point of no return and I had to dedicate. Thank the Lord my microphone has an instant mute button.
Oh, no! Well, you didn't mute me, so I did get to hear it once again. Fan service.
Oh yeah, this microphone. All right, no, it's good. I've got multiple. I've got multiple.
Don't worry about it. You're good.
We're good. We're good. We're good.
We were saying, yeah, thanks PS4 tournaments, but saying that we are going back to the loser side of things. The Brothers Act is indeed happening. I was teasing that earlier. Too early, actually. I called too early. Didn't happen yet, but now it is going to be official. K-Top versus H-Dope.
Yes, indeed. Now, to recap, we have seen countless characters. We've seen Jade, we've seen Fujin, we've seen Spawn, we've seen Liu Kang, we've seen Kung Lao. I don't know who we can expect next. I do know that historically, I definitely remember the two brothers have had some issues in the past when it comes to like getting in this. I don't know why, but they have had historically some delays getting into the same lobby as each other. We get there eventually, but sometimes it can take a bit longer than you might expect. So if there is any short delays here, apologies, but I promise we'll get there eventually because we do always get there. But I'm really happy to see the climb of these two players. I've said it a bunch, and at the risk of sounding like a complete broken record, because I think it's such an important talking point, is that their debut into Mortal Kombat actually began with Aftermath. The entirety of year one, they weren't able to play. They both hail from Greece, and due to reasons completely out of their control, they were dedicated to not video games for a whole year, you know what I mean? And they weren't able to play anything, but they were able to watch tournaments. So throughout the entirety of year one of MK11, the two brothers would watch and study the game, but they couldn't play it. And then when Aftermath happens, that's where they started to, their responsibility shifted. They could compete again. And they were slow starters, as expected. Having to catch up a year later is no easy task. But now, in Ultimate, the game was a bit of a refresher, I think. The ultimate variations and being able to custom choose your moves really helped the two of them because it went to a bit more of an even playing field where now they are some of the most dangerous players in this part of the world. And they consistently prove that in not only the pro competition, but open series and community tournaments. There's plenty of them. And on the subject of open series, while we wait for these two players to get in the lobby, I'd like to remind everyone that Open Series is continuing all the way through April. I always do get asked by players saying, "Hey, are we gonna get it next month?" And it's always great being able to say, "Hey, yes, April now has 4 more weeks of weekly invitationals and then a monthly finals at the end of the month. So if you want to compete and Pro Comp is at the end of the next month or whatever the case may be, you've still got weekly Open Series, and it's all found still at compete.playstation.com."
I think it's a beautiful story that they don't get to play for a year and then are just getting wins left and right. I mean, for a game that's been out for 2 years, to be missing out a complete year and then, trying to get that experience back. I mean, it's one thing watching, man, but actually doing that stuff yourself, it's totally different. But to destroy the competition, just like the way they did this week, I mean, that's impressive in and of itself. And as we have the time to go ahead and watch over their paths as well, man, K-Top is looking so good throughout the entirety of the pro competition. Once again, second place with almost 1,200 points. There is like a huge gap, I think, from like third to the rest of the top 8, where it's still open, man. So many players could still qualify or lose their spot, but K-Top being one of those players who look absolutely locked in whatever happens.
You know when I said you're just never ready for who they're going to pick?
Right.
Here we are, Shang Tsung versus the Joker. I think we had a couple of darts. There was a dartboard with the entire roster on it, and we just threw a couple. And now here we are.
It's not locked in yet. It's not official.
The Shang Tsung is going to get picked first. K-Top locking that one in. I can only assume this variation is going to be... Surely it has morphs. I know sometimes you see Ground Eruption versus Joker, but Ground Eruption is not very K-Top. I like to hit hard and do flashy combos. But what's it going to be?
Let's see how it plays out.
Ah, slide, shake, and lift. I told you, the morphs.
So OG Shang Tsung coming out of K-Top.
Your soul is mine.
I mean, surely they let the intros against each other.
They always do.
I am no cheap vaudevillian.
It takes a lot of money to look this cheap.
Round 1.
The Brothers Act, H-Dub versus K-Top. Now, let me ask you this. Are you nervous when you play Mustard? Like, this is your brother. Are you nervous?
No.
Even if it's in tournaments?
It's actively something that this is a long time ago since I was able to compete, but it was something I would actively look forward to. You feel very proud that you're able to fight each other at this stage of the tournament because you've both earned a far stage point to be there, right? So this almost feels like a treat sometimes. I know they're both going to want to get that win, but you kind of see whoever wins this matchup, a win for one of you is often seen as a win for both, because you put in so much of the grind together that it's a special moment when you can compete with a family member this late in the tournament. I know BGY and Josh GQ, Raichu, they have the same kind of philosophy on that. Any brother that plays, and Bio and Honeybee, I'm sure they'll agree, it's just a great thing to happen late in a tournament where it's like, hey, we're both godlike. And now this first round, looking like it's going to go the way of K-Top. Flawless blocks. Yo, these flawless blocks? Yo, they're sweaty.
Oh, a bit too late on the punish. Or counter. That was a backdoor, I think. Good OS.
Always got that force lift ready for the jump kick OS. It's one of the most dangerous tools. Easy 26% at least. Oh, the whip punish though? Okay. Ooh. Now the corner. Nice use of the wake-up roll, though. Tries to get the side switch on that flawless block. You actually rarely see people flawless block 1-1-2. This is clearly how ready they are for this matchup. Expecting the interruption on the plus frames. In this case, does the kick ender. But no counter hit. Corner pressure for Joker. His favorite place. Oh, no!
US once again.
Oosh.
Oh, no!
I thought we were far enough out of the corner. That didn't happen. Oh, dear.
That sucks.
Oh! That doesn't. Wait a minute. No breaker missile. This is going to hurt. The morph? Wait!
Wow.
He's going to steal the cancel!
I can't. That is so smart. No, not going to get it, though.
Disgusting! Disgusting! No,
no! It moved back!
What
was
that ender?
There was Shang Tsung doing Shang Tsung things. Can't really speak. That was so smart. That was probably the best morph I've seen coming out of Shang Tsung in tournament play. If he would have gotten that crushing blow grab, I mean, even the fact that he did get the cancel, man, going with the morph there was so smart. I mean, that was a beauty.
It was. It absolutely was. And I'm so... You know what? I've never seen that encounter before. But it is funny to me how the game-winning combo was actually dropped by Shang Tsung becoming himself again. But not quite. Not quite. But yeah, being able to steal or become another character with a Fatal Blow cancel locked in is... Oof! That's scary. Scary, scary, scary. But able to win the game anyway. K-Top looking good. And that was a nice game ender right there. Looks like chat room enjoyed that as well, and I can understand why.
I mean, how could you?
Sick conclusion.
How could you, man? We don't get to see the morph in action in term play anyway.
Oh!
What a start! What?
Stick working with the Joker versus the Shang Tsung. This is where... Oh, another lovely whip punch. Clearly a matchup that he's crazy prepared for. Well, I wonder if we're going to see Joker all the way. If oh, no! You've got to be so used to the slide, right? You have to be so used to it.
I'm really surprised to see that crushing blow so early in the set as well.
There's been games and games and games of conditioning in this exact matchup. I'm sure of it. This cannot be the first time they've played this matchup. And look! Flawless blocks all day!
So ready, man.
Oh!
Speaking of which... Wait, hold on. Is that death?
I think so. It's the Joker's fatal blow. I'm always inclined to say yes, because it's the Joker's fatal blow.
That is death. You need like, what, 9%? And you're done. God! And dusted. Wow.
53%! He did down 2 into forward 2 on fatal blow.
Fight.
Just like that. H2. Standing to punish, beautiful stuff. They tried to get the repositioning, not gonna get it. It's opened up. Forward 1. Oh, this is gonna hurt them in the corner.
Ooh, able to get that crazy access to damage too. That nice little standing 4. A bit of a tricky link for some players, I think. There's the confirm into Ermac. Side switch. Like it.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Completely whipped on Joker. Not sure why he kept that combo short. Instead of going with it, oh, maybe he was afraid of dropping it?
Yeah, sometimes you would say breakaway or whatever, but K-Top had no defensive bar.
Yeah.
So either way, you know what?
Not gonna matter.
Game. Doesn't matter, yeah, exactly. It could have been a disaster, but wasn't, as now H-Dope takes the second game, the Joker coming out, and one of his many characters. And I said at the beginning of this series, expect the unexpected. I don't think any of us were expecting a Shang Tsung.
Shang Tsung said himself, no one knows what happens next, not even me. So will he stick to Shang Tsung? Or will there be whoever next, really?
It's like when Shang goes for a jump in, and you've got like an anti-air available, fatal blow with the armor, and he goes, nobody can predict what comes next, not even me. I'm going to just jump kick and buffer Ermac and hope for the best. Now wait a minute. Is this where K-Top actually goes for a main? No, okay. We're going back in for the Shang Tsung. Or not. Giving it a think. Ah, okay. Run back.
Makes sense. One apiece. Going crazy just yet. The picks. So far, an evenly matched set, I should say.
Round 1. Fight.
So here it is then. Match number 3. Auto zoning. Might have K-Top earlier.
Now you can assume those projectiles are in some ways to get you to try and throw projectiles in return, but the shake can come into play. One of the reasons we haven't really seen any of the projectile game from Joker here is the sheer existence of the shake. It makes you hesitant. I want to give Shang Tsung 3 damage, but now forward 1 into corner pressure. Yo,
wow.
Standing 2. God, that button is good.
So high in the air as well.
Uh-oh, no Ermac for you.
And
the
I
break.
don't know about that breakaway catch-up. If with.
Alright. Whoa! He heals. Amp to stay Joker for longer. The pressure and the staggers. Wait a minute.
Hold on. He might morph back. He might morph back.
He drops the combo. No, he drops the combo. That would have been so good for K-Top.
Oh, dang. Wait, did he EX the morph? So he could have...
Yes.
The Joker... Okay. That's why he was Joker. For much longer than I thought.
I think after he did the 1-2-1, I'm pretty sure that he would have morphed back into Shang, but he wouldn't have been punishable because the launch of 1-2-1, right? Oh, hard prediction on the Ermac though. I think H-Dope was fully prepared for it. Now Shang Tsung pushes forward that stubby 1-1, not quite able to hit its mark. Looking for a trade somewhat. Smoke shake.
There it is. Layers.
You want to be a rushdown fool? Eat the smoke shake. Ooh. Arm corpse drop. Interesting choice. Looking for the shotgun. Oh, flipped anyway. Cheeky second hit always. Fishing for the morph. The second fatal blow becomes available. K-Top fishes for it. He wants the threat of the Joker's greatest threat.
Very smart in this matchup, man. Might go for it again. What? Yeah, trying to stagger him. Double fatal blows in play. Time is becoming a factor. 16 seconds. What a whip.
Oh, that's it. That's going to be another game. Here is H-Dope. Joker looking real good so far. Now, K-Top.
Alright, he's dead. He's dead.
I mean, for a split second, he was hovering over Jackie, right? So is this one of the first times we actually see a tried and true name coming out in the Brother Battle? Because look, we're top 4, but top 3 points is a lot more attractive, especially now we're later in the stage, where the more points you get, you know, seeding in the finals and all of it, it still matters. Every point counts. And now it's do or die. I do not think we're going to see the Shang Tsung for another time.
The Joker.
Let's wait and see. I'll bring over again.
I'd like to see K-Top play Raiden one day. I know that Raiden is absolutely not his style in this game, because Raiden's a very defensive character. But I miss watching K-Top play Raiden, because that was just it. There were 2 peas in a pod back in the day. But now, is it Fujin?
He's hovering over so many characters that I'm not sure.
Cabal.
Ah, Air Dash Cabal. I see. This is a first. I've never seen him use this. Yo, and that Jason skin. I'm a fan.
Let's see if it is going to be Air's like this. And there it is, yeah. And the hook grab. Coming out of K-Top to maybe, potentially, take us to a Game 5 situation in this Brothers Act. Playing for 13 points, I think, is the difference between 3rd and 4th.
As long as the money's no joke. I knew we'd be fat.
Now, Joker versus the Cabal. This is where things get interesting, because in a similar light to when you use Jackie. Oh, there's the OS though, always. What goes hand in hand with the air slide gas is being able to get the option select on dash and air dash, kind of in one motion.
Wow.
Plus frames into OS, but corner pressure still belongs. Yo, H-Up, I did not know he had a Joker that was this prepared. He plays almost only Shiva, but when we see these other characters, it's insane to see just how talented H-Up has become.
It's looking like a main, that's for sure. This is not a pocket character.
There's always a lot of people out there that give H-Dope no credit for playing a lot of Shiva. It's always good. Sorry, excuse me. Frog in my throat today, apparently. It's always great to see that H-Dope has these other characters with so much potential.
Double fatal blow! What happened there?
Wake up fast, Barry! Out of the corner? Are you serious?
Round 2. Fight.
MK9 things!
It was so smart as well, because that fatal blow might have not autocorrected, so just go ahead and use the armor. And that was, what a beauty, man. What a beauty coming out of H-Dope. He was currently on match point against his brother.
However, you're against upgraded style Cabal in the corner, and that is where your life bar deletes in 2 touches. And he gets the catch here. Wait, no confirm. K-Top. There was no breaker for H-Dope there. That was a full combo with his name on it. Uh-oh. Wait, the fatal blow. Can you spend it? Not yet. Not until it's going to be the game ender.
Big whiff. That 4-2.
Come on, fight me.
K-Top gets to see another day. H-Top still on match point here. It's the tip end on that 4-2 as well. Counter.
Alright, we got that double jump in.
Yeah, what a
damage.
confirm, man. What a confirm.
Wake up 3, I'm pretty sure that was. But you know what? Instant jump kick, we'll take those if they don't get punished, and even then they work.
Wow. They're both so ready, Ketchup.
Oh, wait a minute.
No!
Oh my lord! What was that?
I say that, the first scramble. Coming out of H though.
I'm not particularly sure what happened there. Cancel pressure into instant up 3. I don't know what that was. I have no idea what that was.
Yeah, why would you press 3 after a cancelled fatal blow?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Short top, maybe? That's like the only explanation I have right now. Otherwise, I got nothing.
Yeah, it could have been a messed up short hop, perhaps. I'm really not sure, but you know what? Now, we open up to yet another situation where is it going to be Joker versus Cabal, or does H-Dope have another pick up his sleeve?
Cabal.
Hovering over Joker. Uh-oh!
Na-na-na. Na-na-na.
Got another Game 5 situation, man. A worthy Game 5, I should say. Between H-Dope and K-Top. And it looks like he is going to be representing the Shokan.
Yes, indeed. Now, the air dash will have a slightly harder time getting in on the fireballs, but you do have that extra range, right? The jump 2 for Cabal is so good for it. You can control a higher side of the screen, but she can just throw those projectiles up high. I'm curious to see how this matchup unfolds, to be honest with you. And this is one of the first times an actual tried and true main has been picked in the Brother Showdown, so you can definitely tell that they're taking this very seriously. Ooh! Lovely anti-air.
Doesn't even need the Dragon Stance to snipe you out of the air, it seems like.
Another anti-air. Alright, we're seeing why Shiva gets picked. 2 anti-airs into this damage, 25% off, and the debuff it like.
Block on the overhead. There it is. Snipe.
Patience.
Hitting all of them, Ketchup.
I mean, you can tell this is why this is the character that can pick the anti-air potential of Team 2 separate anti-airs. And the wake up 2 to blow it up. K-Top is just not able to crack into this defense so far as H-Dope is on match point. Remember, the winner of this game moves on to fight Blood Eyes and loses final. That's going to give that free mix-up. Again, staggering it, tries to punish, but a little bit too slow on it. The flawless block.
What an up 2. Good stagger, but H-Dope being ready with the counter poke. Speaking of which, is ready for the cancel the Dragon Stance. K-Top having H up the corner.
Again, trying to answer back. I think he's content to try and punish the shield bash. If he gets hit by the amplify and you have a life lead, who really cares? Because it doesn't do a lot of damage. If you can get that interruption and punish it, yeah, lovely catch. Double jump in, oof, oof. That hurts.
Oh!
That hurts more.
Hold on. Yeah, there was no breakaway. Very poor stuff coming out of K-Top. Now this is going to be the life lead. Yeah, the life lead. For H-Dope. Hold on a minute. Dragon Stance
on a dream. No, the shield spin! The advancing mid into shield spin, the final play, and Shiva is gonna be the one to get that win in the last second. Move on into losers finals now to fight Blood Eyes. And just like that, we can see H-Dope winning the Battle of the Brothers. If I believe, though, yet again, he tends to have a bit of an upper hand here so far. And it was a great answer. You know, we saw the sheer airborne mobility of Cabal, something that we're so used to seeing at this point. But it's great to see the answers immediately used. The delayed stance into anti-air, the down 2s into conversion. Shiva, her down 2 has really stubby like range, but it's got good recovery and it has a good vertical hitbox on it. So that kind of means that it's kind of take the good with the bad. It's got no range, but at the right distance, it's a really good anti-air and she can down 1 debuff. So I guess you take it as it comes there, don't you, Mitsuones?
I think it was looking really good. At the back of my mind, that was my thought as well. Hold on, doesn't she have like little range and stubby buttons? But man, oh man, was he on point with those down 2 anti-airs immediately into the down 1. That was super, super impressive stuff from both of them, and that was a very entertaining set. Unfortunately, saying goodbye to K-Top, but H-Top taking on his legacy and qualifying for the top 3, which we shall see after a very short break. But before we sign off, let's quickly give a shout out to the Mortal Kombat 11 Pro Competition merch store. Go ahead and browse through some Mortal Kombat gear and represent your character, your realm, your region, really. Go ahead and visit amazon.com/Mortal Kombat to browse through t-shirts and gear for your smartphones. Very cool stuff indeed. But that is going to mean that there is going to be a little bit of a commentator change. I'll be checking in, or tag in, I should say, Falcon for the remainder of the tournament. We shall see you in a bit. Stay tuned for more Mortal Kombat action.
You can't hold me down. Yeah, how you let me know? You won't beat that out of car. Looks like bling. What? Going up, yeah. Going up, yeah.
No! Wait! No jokes, no gimmicks, just combat.
PlayStation.
Hey guys, Ketchup and Mustard here, and it's time to test your might in the Mortal Kombat 11 Open Series. Ready to rumble? Power on your PlayStation and head to the Events app, filter by type, and select a convenient date and time. Boot up MK11 and locate the PS4 Tournaments menu option. Click it to visit a familiar place, the Console Events tab. Sign up and prepare to play. Once registered, you can view your tournament details and check-in time. A notification will remind you to tighten your black belt and get over here for your match. Continue combat in the open qualifiers to close in on the competition. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the tournaments.
PlayStation. Who are you?
I'm your worst nightmare.
Any ring I step into is mine. End of the line.
Then this fight is now personal.
It is exhausting being so perfect.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. You are watching our latest edition of EU East for the Mortal Kombat 11 Intercontinental Combat, part of the all-important pro competition. My name is Ketchup, joined by Falcon on commentary. Hopefully you're nice and refreshed, mate, and recovered.
Yeah, doing well.
I respect your digs, you know, I do, as from one person to another. But as we go into the rest of this tournament, the closing moments, we now have our top three. We have losers finals now, and let's run us through it.
So, I mean, in that losers finals, I mean, we can just start off by saying the match that we had before we even cut to the break between the brothers H-Dope and K-Top was phenomenal, right? H-Dope prevailing in that matchup is now going to have a shot at Blood Eyes to make it into the grand finals. Now, Mr. Ramirez just about managed to get away with that with just, you know, a ridiculous Scream KB that managed to hit, which ended up costing, you know, Blood Eyes the set. But it was really close, and I wonder if Blood Eyes has, you know, not taken too much mental damage in that sense to be able to, you know, hold it down in losers finals and then try and get the run back again in grand finals against Mr. Ramirez. But H-Dope, obviously with a pretty warm engine, is feeling pretty good, I'm sure, about beating his brother. And K-Top, I think probably the favorite in this entire bracket to win the whole thing, really. So that was quite a big stepping stone you have now just removed from the equation.
For me, it seems to be a common thing where H-Dope seems to be the player that has kind of the best chance in this specific side of the tournament of actually beating K-Top. And that's clearly what's happened again, but it was still a close exchange, as we can clearly see in this bracket, 3-2. But I think with the H-Dope, we're probably going to see the Shiva come out again, because if Blood Eyes picks Rain, the thing about this matchup is it's kind of tricky for Rain, in my opinion, because Rain just does get... Yeah, and we're actually seeing another variation instantly, another character. I was going to say, Rain gets zoned out quite considerably against Shiva.
Yeah, I can only
because
imagine.
He's a stubby character, right? Whereas in this matchup here with Blood Eyes, Scorpion, I think the intention there is to teleport Stomp, is to teleport the Dragon Stance. Like, this is clearly a Shiva-specific pick that we're seeing right now.
Yeah, I think you're totally right about that. We did see, you know, Scorpion being played by Magic T earlier on against H-Dope to try and contest that Dragon Stance. But H-Dope is also very aware of the opposing character, you know. He's very aware and knows how to bait out teleport characters.
Oh yeah, he sees you pick Scorpion. He's like, okay, well I know why you picked Scorpion, so let me just prepare for this later.
Scorpion,
exactly.
Slave of the Nether Realm.
Kind of gives me throwback days of MK9 when I play like Sector and do loads of projectiles and then they pick Scorpion or Smoke and it's like, well, I know what you're going to do, so I'm just going to wait for the teleport.
Exactly, and then you full combo them as soon as they do.
Oof,
starting things off, well, Blood Eyes is obviously, you know, he's a prominent Scorpion player. This is one of his, I guess, 3 characters that he tends to play the most. Scorpion really being like that pocket pick for the matchups where he just doesn't really want to play, but starting things off with that 4-3-4 KB as well. Force the breakaway off H-Dope.
And he's rushing it down instantly. A major thing he's going to get in this matchup is just mobility, options to deal with stuff that otherwise options might not be available to you. Now here comes the debuff applied. Dashing down one just in case you challenge. That back one confirm.
Yeah, but a good protect.
Yeah, I think this is a really good start so far though. Ooh, no amplified though. Ooh, this is an interesting round 1, Falcon.
It really is. I think H-Dope was respecting right there. Gonna catch right in the recovery, just not enough movement frames to allow Blood Eyes to escape that stomp right there. Good answer from H-Dope. He's now going to use the Dragon Stance, chipping away at his health bar. Blood Eyes has that fatal blow, can make a comeback happen if he's fast enough.
Oh no, the timing was not there as the stomp will work wonders for the final bit of damage that H-Dope is looking for, but quite an explosive round 1. I think we could definitely be here for the long haul. There's the confirm, the breakaway instantly, 2-1.
Definitely, I think using the backdoor over there, fishing for an escape failed, knowing H-Dope is pretty on point when it comes to Throtex as well. Now H-Dope answering back with all of these mids, keeping Blood Eyes in that guessing scenario. Plus 15 restand. Okay, good blocks. The escape fail definitely going to come in handy for Blood Eyes over here if he's able to get that throw. Now what he was trying to do with the teleport against the stomp as well looks really tough to do, to be honest. So I wonder if he's going to have a nice answer, but that right there was a perfect walk back right there into the trip guard. He's going to get the spear confirm and in that demon breath for 326, keeps him standing, and the 1-1-2 is just try and check him in the corner. But this is looking like a sticky one for H-Dope. No punish!
It's just Scorpion's movement in general. You know, the teleport is one element to it, but at the same time, his forward movement able to make the stomp whiff as well. And contrary to that first round, where a stomp was all H-Dope needed, that stomp was used, I think, to try and create that situation. Now, unfortunately, going for a big payout reward there with the teleport, but that is where the guess will apply. You just need to get the right call out. Walk up grab. Oh, we have the KB as well.
Yeah, no, albeit
he goes for it.
That wasn't exactly a punish, but not really going to matter too much. Speaking of punishes, H-Dope going to find one for himself. He's going to keep Blood Eye standing over here. Still gets that plus 15 from the final hit of that shield spin. I mean, this is
up and get hit by the shield bash. That's gotta feel bad.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, Flame Breath. Dashing grab. Wait a second. That's going to give the fatal blow now to Shiva, but is it a stomp? Are we looking for it? I think that was probably a stomp. Oh, no, too late.
Just a little bit. Now we're in fatal blow territory for both players right here. This back throw is not going to kill. But the back two. Oh, he didn't commit.
Didn't believe.
Chip.
He didn't believe.
Pushback just about. It just about saved Blood Eyes over there because of that pushback. You could tell H-Dope was trying to punish the Demon Breath. Just a little bit too short on it. And Blood Eyes managing to take away the first game for himself in what looked like it could have been H-Dope's round.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And the fact that, okay, we kind of look at risk versus reward. So we're seeing Blood Eyes consistently try and go for a teleport just on the assumption of when Shiva's going to land, right? And basically didn't work. The one time it did work, it dodged rather than punished. The one time he did the forward movement, obviously it got around. Where you are on the screen, though, will massively change its effectiveness. Because if you're in the corner, walking out of it is a lot harder. Because you just don't have the space to work with, right? It's as simple as that. Yeah. But the Demon Breath is actually not a move that you see a lot of Scorpion players rock, but I almost feel like Falcon, I'm sure you'll agree with me here, in true Blood Eyes fashion, always got a quirky little way of playing his characters, doesn't he? Something.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, he was competing with Purple Pain before as well.
Yeah.
Right? And he uses Hydroplane, which you barely ever see from Rain players as well. And I'm glad he uses that move because, frankly, I think it's an incredibly useful move. It's got a lot of utility to it and allows for certain punish options, right? So he's definitely a fan of playing these more unconventional loadouts, or rather picking these specific specials just to cater to his specific style of gameplay. And it favors him quite a lot, to be honest. But that was a great punish right there, just anticipating that forward roll from H-Dope. He's going to cash out in big damage right here, 36% because H-Dope couldn't break. And the back two again, clipping him, but the throw escape.
Oh, but he can't punish it. That's unfortunate. Able to escape the stomp, but meter intensive it will be as that bar of defensive bar is used. Immediate jump in to cancel. The turn stealing down one, the delayed forward four. Yo, H-Dope getting mixed all over the joint right now.
Definitely, as it looks like Blood Eyes is kind of getting in his head a little bit with these shenanigans on the offense, to be honest.
He cancels after the third, though. He was looking for a teleport. Stop. That one was always going to work. Too much recovery on Spear.
Yeah, just a little bit too much, and albeit it wasn't exactly a punish. For anyone unaware, the Spear does have a lot of recovery frames, so it is going to catch you. If he tries to move afterwards, he just doesn't have that window to do so. That was a great punish, though.
Oh, you're done. Slash. Now, this is an element where we're seeing someone that is absolutely prepared for the character through and through. Shiva's Stomp, it's not having an opportunity to be as oppressive as we're used to seeing. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite get the buffer there on the back two. There's no way he wanted to go for that on its own there. But, like I said, just when we're mid-screen and we have all of that real estate to work with, it's a lot easier to deal with the Stomp when your character has those kind of options, right? Some characters don't have options, to give them their credit. We were just talking earlier about Noob Cybot really struggling against Stomp because he has no movement. Yeah, exactly. Some characters have more options than most.
They do, but that overhead box straight away into the low is going to leave Blood Eyes bleeding the second time in this round. That commitment to the Spear, I'm not sure what that one was. And H-Dope going to leave him standing, plus 15 over here. Blood Eyes poking back. He's going to get an escape failed for himself, but he's got a mountain to climb if he wants to make a comeback over here. It's going to be really tough. Good blocks, though.
Especially when you're dealing with constant mix-ups. Looks for the jump kick air to air. Can't quite land it. Now H-Dope able to get around on the board, but let's look at utility. Escape failed for Scorpion. KB forward 3 was used. Fatal blow. Teleport punish again.
There we go. He's starting to get it a lot more consistently now. That's 2 for 2, I think, on both those stomps. Sequentially right here, but the plus 15 reach in the corner doesn't guess right. He's gonna bleed over here now. This is tough. There's a lot of chip damage to factor in as well when it comes to Shiva. In the corner, he guesses wrong. He's gonna get launched once again into that back forward 4. Can't use the breakaway over there.
And you hate it. Right as the debuff for one's about to run out, you get clipped by the next. Now, Amplify for the safety. You jump in. The flawless block to mess with your frame data, and he's getting mixed all over the place. And this, what I love here, though, I'm going to say, and it's something that I've kind of stolen when I play Shiva, is this variation with the spinning dragon. This is... H-Dope is genuinely the only Shiva player I've seen in tournament use this move.
Yeah,
and
I didn't really see it before that.
Dude, it's all unbreakable. Like, that's the thing about spinning dragon, is that you land a hit. Yeah, you're not getting launched and you're not getting a full combo's worth of damage. Yes, you lose the kind of easy armor break possibilities and stuff like that, but you can't break any of it.
Yeah.
Shield bash is plus 15. I guess spinning dragon is technical because there is a shield bash move, which is not this. Plus 15, got to hold a mix up. If you get hit, you just loop you straight back into it if the overhead is the one that connects. And if you get hit by the low, she debuffs you anyway.
Like, yeah, it's just it's a really like favorable no matter how you guess. And then like when it comes around to the actual usage of it on block, Blood Eyes hasn't actually gone for the flawless block on the amplification once. And I do think that's really reactable. You know, it's a reactable option that you can go for, but maybe he didn't want to chance it. It was just, you know, willing to just hold it on block, because albeit Shiva is safe, you don't really get too much. You know, you'd be spending 2 bars, you'd probably get a breakaway or something, and it's up to you to factor in whether it's worth the trade-off over there. See, I think he tried to teleport the gap. I wonder if that actually does work over there. But Magic T as well, you know, when he was playing this matchup earlier, he was doing double backdashes. Oh, down 2?
Oh. That's going to just do really good damage by itself. Even without regular launchers, those down 2 KBs are a great way to open it up. And now that damage over time for Blood Eyes, damage that he really doesn't want to have to take. Sometimes no choice but to concede just to be able to fight back and establish yourself. Uh-oh, that connects on its own. Plus 15. Oh no!
Hey, 18% right there. That Dragon Stance is all that he needs. I mean, that is a lot of raw damage just by itself. When you guess wrong in that situation, just like that, I mean, the Dragon Stance allowing for so much meterless damage off of the conversion, right? Just a ridiculous situation that Shiva can put you into if you guess wrong in those, but Blood Eyes, you know, being a bit hesitant, not committing too much. Play to beat out the teleport.
Timing belongs to H-Dope so far, expecting you to, oh dear. The mix begins again, this time standing 2. The advancing, faster than the back 2. The chase down, oh god! Wake up roll into 18%. Nice!
Oh my goodness, that was like pixel perfect right there. Keeps him standing with a Demon Breath, goes for the dash up, doesn't jail him correctly though, gets down 2, but the whip punish! That's not going to kill Ketchup, but it's going to put him in a really good situation.
And with 16%, an amplified stomp won't kill him either. So it actually does give Blood Eyes the advantage. What's it going to be? Goes in. Oh, no!
God.
Now, I'll tell you why that works. Forward 3 stagger into down 1. Yes, Scorpion's down 1 is fast, but forward 3 is minus. And even though 8 frames is what it takes to trigger that armor on a fatal blow, when you're minus after a forward 3 and you press, the armor will activate. That was just, as far as I'm concerned, that was actually a really good answer from H-Dope, because he had really another round to work with. He knows the opponent's minus, and if they press, which most people will, that's going to work.
It's really just like it's a do or die situation, isn't it? But when your opponent, when you know that they're staggering to try and get you to press, or they're staggering to try and, you know, get free pressure essentially, H-Dope was just ready to call out the 4-3 by itself. He realized, okay, you know what? If it's just a single button, I'm just going to use an armored reversal and punch walk my way to victory, and that's exactly what he did.
Scorpion.
Able to mute my mic again this time so I can sneeze. The Scorpion coming out once more from Blood Eyes, and I like how he's playing this matchup. But H-Dope, the reality is he's just playing really well here. His utilization of this definitely unique variation, and the fact that the pressure just doesn't stop. And when he goes for a stomp, he goes for stomp in really weird, unorthodox times now where you're not going to be as prepared. He waits for you to be near the corner or whatever, somewhere where your options are a bit more limited.
Yeah, like, he's not very linear with how he uses the stomp. He wants to use it at those unexpected moments.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay, Blood Eyes, you know, like, per hit, he's not really getting the most damage unless he's getting, like, the whip punishes or the good spacings with the back one and stuff, you know, like, in general. Or those teleports right there just blow up H-Dope whiffing in general after the jump in. But H-Dope's now, he's built back that breakaway. He's got that to work with. No punish on the short hop. and again...
Oh my lord, these neutral duck down twos have been the biggest enemy of Blood Eyes. However, I guess Silver Linings H-Dope would have had the perfect call out on the armor break, but just couldn't quite get the back forward 4 timing. Now, the walk back, no good punish attempt here, but the fast forward 4. I like that choice from H-Dope. You're so used to seeing that in the corner only, aren't you? But in certain punish situations, you're going to be close enough.
You are indeed. Now, no meter for Blood Eyes to actually get the flawless block reversal over there if you wanted to. Good blocks all the way through, just holding all of this is just chip damage at the end of the day, but he's going to have to find himself a good and very crucial hit if he wants to close out this round.
Stomp,
right now,
baby.
Yeah, that's bleed into Stomp. We're going to have to see how he deals with it. That teleport shouldn't trigger the bleed.
Oh, the timing! That was a guess, and a guess that H-Dope benefited from.
That looks so ridiculously difficult to do, though. You know, like, I wonder if maybe the air teleport was just a little bit more beneficial for him, but clearly, you know, he came into this matchup well prepared and ready to pick Scorpion against Shiva with a reason. So I think that he definitely is trying to feel it. It just looks like a tough timing to get used to with the plus 15 over here. Guesses wrong in the overhead. No further commitment from H-Dope, though.
Uh-oh. Not quite close enough to get it. Whole thing. And yeah, that's going to hurt so much. 25%. Just like that. And now, the debuff is in full swing. Probably going to go into Fatal Blow territory right here. The Amplify and the pushback into another jump. God, the chip damage alone. Oh, no!
And the challenge right there as well. H-Dope right now. Gonna use that pushback and the Stomper. Oh, yeah, that really vortexed him right in over there. Sucked him straight into the heels of Shiva. And just like that, I mean, that was a really close game for Blood Eyes. You know, he had the potential to take both his rounds, but ultimately, like, just dealing with the delay on Stomp and trying to, you know, react to it every single time perfectly with Teleport looks just looks like just a really hard thing to do. There's no other way to say it.
I really like the way that H-Dope plays Shiva, though. I've always been a huge fan of players that are not afraid to somewhat go against the grain here. I know that Shiva, she's always being talked about. She's definitely one of the stronger characters in the game, without question.
Yeah.
But there are many ways to play her, and one of the big things that she benefits from is the fact that the variation system of Ultimate, where you can now pick and choose, caters to her very well. If you are a creative player, you can look at certain moves, even if no one else is using it, and you can go, well, hang on a minute. If this character's already strong, why can't I create this somewhat new way of approaching the character, which has led to this spinning dragon version of Shiva that H-Dope is now becoming so successful with, because you can't break any of it. You have to hold the mix up. It's overhead low. Sometimes there's a grab. There's all kinds of stuff you have to worry about. And H-Dope now moving himself into grand finals.
Yeah, H-Dope, you know, he's playing really, really well so far. I mean, this variation of Shiva just seems perfectly catered to him, and it also provides a lot of, you know, new routes for people who are interested in Shiva or who have been messing around with different things since customs have been since customs have been rolled out, where it just seems much more comfortable. But we just want to give a quick shout out before we can get further on into the pro competition over here, with a quick shout out for Astro, our audio presenting partner for the Pro Competition Online. So thank you very much, Astro Gaming, the official audio partner for MK11. All the caster audio is provided and powered by Astro for the entirety of the season. Head over to astrogaming.com, that link at the bottom of the graphic right there, for more information on all our officially licensed PlayStation audio products, which are available now.
I've been a big fan of using these Astro products all the way through Pro Competition. I was kind of lucky enough to get the Mortal Kombat side panels at Final Combat, which have just never come off the headset for as long as I've had it. And now we open up to grand finals. Now, this is actually, funnily enough, Mr. Ramirez going in with the Scarlet. There are some characters that are said to be very, very good at shutting down a Shiva Stomp, and Scarlet is one of them.
I guess, I mean, the teleport would obviously be like the biggest thing, right? Just being able to down up on reaction pretty much seamlessly. But Mr. Ramirez, you know, we saw him playing Sindel earlier in this top 8. I did touch upon the fact that he's an incredibly strong Scarlet player. And now this is kind of, you know, a means of displaying that over here in the grand finals. I guess maybe just trying to rock with the Scarlet. I wonder if it's actually better in the matchup than Shiva or anyone else that Ramirez plays. Because we know Ramirez plays Shiva as well, right? So,
yes, Mr. Ramirez plays a whole bunch of characters, but the combination of Bloodport and just, to be honest with you, the initial burst of the walk speed, I think that's what makes Scarlet really efficient at it. Now, yeah, I haven't seen it in some time, but I've definitely heard almost a bit of a talk of the town that Scarlet players, during the kind of age of Shiva stomping everyone, there's a lot of Scarlet players on Twitter and stuff that like, I don't have any problems because their character just moves out of the way. Now, this could be famous last words, but I'm very curious to see if the Scarlet is the answer. Now, we tried to blood port. The first stomp we see, though, I like the fact that H-Dope didn't delay or anything. He gave Mr. Ramirez no time to react.
Yeah, I think it was really just trying to check him, right? And now he's going to start delaying over here to start messing with his head a little bit as he needs to. Good blocks from Ramirez, but gets opened up by that spinning shield. Good block again on the low, though. Yeah, clean punish right there.
Oh, and we go boiling point. So that's always going to chunk the life down. And neutral being controlled. Wow, wake up down 2 from Shiva. Ramirez pressuring with a high and paying the price for it. Plus 15. Uh-oh. Get down.
Still standing.
Oh, no.
And that is rough right there. I mean, you really just can't use, I mean, as you mentioned many a times before, he's just unbreakable. You know, being forced to hold all that and also being kept standing, that's another thing, you know, against that kind of damage in the corner. But the back 3 boiling point right here going to take a nice chunk of damage. Mr. Ramirez is putting out that red rain as well to work with.
Less damage, though, because you're stuck in red rain. Yeah, I love it. Wait for the jump in and just teleport to reposition.
Great back
punish. Hang on a minute, we're starting to get a bit more comfortable right here, it seems. With a shimmy, trying to catch you pressing the button with punish.
The movement right now from Ramirez is impeccable, as he's just not really suffering too much. Gets himself opened up, though, into that spinning Dragon Shield. Now the 1-2 checks right here. We're seeing H-Dope just try and find an opening. Gets a flawless block, but doesn't have the defensive bar to actually go for a reversal. I'm not even sure if Shiva's reversals work that well against Scarlet. She's got quite a vertical up 2, doesn't she? So...
Oh, punishable up 2 goes... Say up 2. The punishable overhead gets punished immediately. The stagger into grab is great, and importantly, keeps the corner positioning. Mr. Ramirez, looking like that first round might have been a little bit of a warm-up, perhaps.
Final round.
Yeah, looking a lot more comfortable now, and I mean, Ramirez is like one of the premier Scarlet players that we usually tend to see in these top 8s, you know, across Europe.
Wow, rare footage of up 3 whiffing. I'm used to seeing that move miss when it has some crazy range. Oh my lord. You hesitate.
Just raw 18%, right? Just straight away from that ground trap.
Alright, tough delay. So he's mixing up his stomp timing to make it really awkward to deal with and tries to interrupt.
Yeah, good block right there. Dropped punish, though, from Mr. Ramirez.
Which really sucks, considering her damage is so high. The heal's great, though. Fatal blow. Recovery!
Oh, the up 3! Yeah, that would be the option, I guess, instead of the up 2. Just going for that quick knockback, get those minor plus frames over there. Mr. Ramirez still has us within the realm of possibility to try and make this comeback. I think one good 4-4 into Fatal Blow might kill. Oh, with it though!
Point! The wrong range! Vulcan! Oh my lordy lord! The teleport was the right call out, but the wrong move!
If he had committed to the teleport 4-4 Fatal, I genuinely think it would have worked. Like, I genuinely think that would have worked, but the wrong range on that boiling point really cost him the game right there.
Absolutely. The idea was there. The execution just wasn't. The fatal blow ready to go. The chance to heal as well. That's a bit tragic, I think. But that first game, getting into the flow of the matchup, I think Mr. Ramirez was playing it really well. But H-Dope, it just comes down to the brute force nature of this variation that he's put together. I'm a huge fan of it.
Yeah, I mean, it is just ridiculously impressive, right? And, H-Dope is just bringing this to the table. I mean, he's really just putting it out there for the world to see, essentially, right? That, hey, look how crazy this variation of Shiva is as well. Like, I know a lot of people are very focused around, like, Dragon Stance. There are people who are always complaining about Stomp. But in reality, I mean, that low grab and being able to recycle a situation where you can make that low grab a constant threat along other beams of frequency of chip damage, you know, high meterless damage, unbreakable. It's like, all of it together is just a ridiculous powerhouse, essentially, and H-Dope is playing it to near perfection.
Oh, speaking of which, the mix-ups begin. Now the advancing back 1, just in case you try and challenge. Going in for the Dragon Stance a little bit earlier to create the plus frames, and the pressure just never ends. Tries to get the down 1 back 4, though, a little bit too mistimed. The up 3, that flawless block timing. Oof, overhead out of nowhere. Another flawless block, but too far away twice in a row.
couldn't make much more out of that flawless block on the up 3 right now. Ramirez trying to desperately find a hit, but he's going to get opened up. And the meter burn just to close out the round. H-Dope looking like he was in the driver's seat of that entire round.
This has been absolute spinning dragon, the exhibition, the masterclass, I think, of how to play a very ruler-heavy Shiva, and we get that corner launch once more. No break from Mr. Ramirez. That down one into grab would have been a death sentence.
Yeah, for sure. You do not want to give Shiva that crushing blow right there, but I wonder, people are getting hit by... They blocked like the first hit of the shield spin, and they're getting hit by the second to third hits. I wonder what that's for, but the 1-2-4 punish on that whiff throw attempt going to build back a little bit of life is Mr. Ramirez. No bar to spend, unfortunately, on that straight shot right there. Using the 4-4s plus frames, but the backdash into the whiff punish.
Wait a minute, this is checkmate if this doesn't kill, which it will. Even if it didn't, that was going to be a stomp with Mr. Ramirez's name on it and an unwinnable situation.
I actually wonder if Ramirez could have won that situation, because I don't think teleport will trigger the bleed. It's not a physical movement, like it's a special based movement, the same way Scorpion's teleport wouldn't trigger the bleed.
That's true. That is
I wonder
true.
if he had a perfect teleport, he might have actually been able to take that.
But I mean, this is, for me, it's a impressive showing of just... It's kind of like what you said in the last game. I like this idea that the way that H-Dope is playing this character here is essentially taking one of the scariest parts of her game, which is that complete 50-50. I mean, she's basically an MKX character. It's one of the reasons that she's so devastating here, because a lot of characters don't have this degree of just threatening built-in mix-up.
Yeah.
The second you take that Queen's Punishment, that low, that mix-up exists in so many different ways where your opponent just has to guess. If you have something that creates, and like you quite rightly said, recycles that situation,
yeah,
it's scary to deal with.
It's like a pseudo vortex almost, isn't it? It's like it's just a really rough part, because once you guess wrong, you are put back into that situation where you could guess wrong again, and then there's a lot of mental damage that starts applying, you know, over the course of time, which could eventually start tilting players or just gradually decreasing their morale. But Ramirez has definitely been fighting back just as hard as before. We're just seeing a lot more frequency and adaptations from H-Dope right now. He's just playing his game plan just a lot more comfortably.
I think it's also very easy for some people to try and discredit H-Dope, because I know Shiva's not exactly the most popular character in the competitive scene right now, but it's not like we didn't just see his Joker versus K-Top do an absolute ton of work to reach this point. This guy's talented.
Yeah.
He plays Spawn, he plays... we've seen the Joker from him, we've seen Wow, we've seen Liu Kang.
Yeah,
a whole bunch of characters, but Shiva is the one that just complements his style the absolute best. Really forefronting this one specific style, the spinning dragon, which I'd love to see more of it in the future from other players, because clearly tried and tested in tournaments.
Okay, you can see Ramirez is trying to dash his way out to actually fish for the punish on that stomp right there. Wasn't able to get it though, as now H-Dope is really just kind of fishing for a hit at this point. Once again, flawless block reversal straight away into the up 3, completely mitigating any of that momentum or pressure that Scarlet is trying to build. You know, riddled with these flawless block gaps right there.
Grabs right now. We can see the 10 seconds on the clock, but is that even going to have a factor here? Yo, down one into down one. Oh, shield spin, and this is going to create a reset point here for H-Dope, who in rather swift fashion is looking to bring us back into a final set situation, Falcon.
Yeah, just, I mean, as you said it, I mean, but Mr. Ramirez, you know, it's like he's fighting back so hard right now. It just seems like he's absolutely flustered, like kind of at a loss for what to do and how to approach this matchup in general. As you see that back 3 boiling point, dialed in, not going to work out. Neutral jump from Mr. Ramirez, couldn't really get anything going for himself. Forward check as well into that forward throw. He's just starting to do damage to H-Dope, but once H-Dope gets the ball rolling, it's going to be really tough for him to get out of that one. Almost at the punish, he's going to get counter hit for it though.
Now, my favorite thing about this match, too, is that we were talking about Scarlet having a lot of answers for Stomp, but H-Dope is almost never using the Stomp. This has been him just forcing his way forward, getting a punish, getting something on block, and just having this mix-up position with the Spinning Dragon is a real pain in the backside to deal with. That now here comes the Stomp, and this time it misses. But the bulk of the work is being done by just his use of sticking within that just short of jump distance range.
Yeah.
Where you're always scared of his buttons. He's still, like I said, it's just strong-arming your way into offense.
See, like, you got advancing mids, a good dash, you got back throw Oki. It's like, you have all of that to essentially start guessing with. Then you got the overhead straight into the low grab as well. It's like, Shiva's just got a lot of ways to make you guess, and H-Dope is doing, as you said, like a lot of the breadth of the work is really just coming from not using Stomp. It's like you have a clear weakness that can be addressed by a character, just don't use it that much. As you can see, Ramirez is dealing with the Stomp very well now, but I mean, this situation, we got H-Stroke with Fatal Blow. We've been seeing him very unafraid to use it earlier on, but holding the plus frames from the 4-4 right there. Mr. Ramirez in a really good situation to potentially chip out H-Dope, but the counter hit, guessing game.
Wait a minute. Now, Mr. Ramirez has defensive bar. We could still see some kind of opportunity. The wake-up teleport. Oh, the up 3. Hang on a minute. I love the block on the overhead, but no, you're flipped. Is this going to be a full life comeback right here, right now?
This feels impossible to call. I feel like it's really going to come down to this situation. If Ramirez can guess right over here. No, not close enough. Oh, went for the interactable. Not enough. Oh, what? No! The blood tongue. The blood tongue made it whiff.
Oh my good lord. And that would have been a free mix-up too. What a pivotal moment that was.
My goodness, Mr. Ramirez taking that one in ridiculous fashion, really. I mean, neither of us saw that coming. That looked like the perfect flawless block from H-Dope to put him into that mixed situation that Ketchup just mentioned, and it lost to the blood tongue. You know, what if it was a thing where, you know, the brutalities trigger and it kills straight away? Where it was one of those where the up 3 might have actually traded with like the beginning startup frames of the blood tongue, but it triggered the brutal. Now that might be a far stretch, but I wonder if that could have been something that happened. But generally speaking, looking at it, it looked like Scarlet backswayed and avoided the up 3.
I think that's the more common scenario, that you just move back. Just because you can, in theory, up 3 or up 2 a situation doesn't mean that your character's one specifically in that moment will work. And I guess the up 3, although it's been the answer, because up 2 will be far too stubby, moving backwards and preventing what would have been a almost impossible 1% life comeback. And it has actually put Mr. Ramirez on the board, though. But that entire round came from stomps all over the place. And that was a stomp round, and every single one missed and got H-Dope majorly punished. You know, we were just complimenting the game plan of using stomp sparingly and more playing that kind of close-range brawler game. The one round he didn't really slipped through his fingers.
Yeah.
I'll be less of that now. And there's another stomp. This one's going to whiff. Can't be too hasty to close things out. This is still Scarlet we're talking about. There's the punish.
Yeah, that late breakaway as well, knowing that Mr. Ramirez was going to go, excuse me, confidently into the full combo. I don't know what happened. My voice is being sabotaged right there. And yeah, Ramirez is, you know, just playing this matchup really well. I'm sure that he was sweating a lot after denying that comeback from the last one. I'm sure that he's playing like he feels a lot more confident right now as well. You're seeing a lot of frequency and staggers, a lot of movement. Look at that! Walking him backwards, but didn't want to go for the punish over there, probably not feeling it right in that moment, as he now has H-Dope in Fatal Blow territory with a very nice health leads back.
Ooh! Still taking the risks on the overhead. Arraigned, and there's a whip punish. Boom! And that's another round on the board. Mr. Ramirez looks like in the footsies alone. Catching wind of H-Dope. Swinging a bit too hard right now and getting whiff punished constantly to jump back. No air to air though, not quite.
Ramirez is using Scarlet's very good walk speed and dash speed as well, you know, between each other very wisely to just create the space and make it very hard for H-Dope to actually approach, because Shiva is also kind of a stubby character, you know, and he's using that well, but we have to see more in terms of just raw whip punishments out of Mr. Ramirez to cash out in as much as he can get, because if H-Dope is giving him these opportunities, it'd be nice to see him maximize his potential from these opportunities if he wants a chance of winning scrap finals.
Regular teleport is going to be a pretty massive part of this matchup from max range. You know, you go for the dragon stance and the fireballs, and you've overcommitted. One teleport will punish you, but we did quite rightly see H-Dope go for the stance and cancel it, but now a clean jump in's good, and the launch, but no, the drop in the corner. That's going to hurt. And more so is now thrown into the corner instead. Wait.
Oh my goodness. That was an Injustice Air Square if I've ever seen one right there. He just reacted to the jump in straight away, acknowledged he wasn't going to anti-air that. Great option for Mr. Ramirez. Gets the standing 2 and the back throw. That's not going to kill. Very, very close though.
Oh, didn't get a chance to move. The stomp comes out to create the situation. Will he be able to get it again? No, it whiffs. The up 3 is great.
You can tell he tried the blood tongue again over there. It didn't really work out for Ramirez, but the down 1 punish doing exactly what he needed to do. You're not even trying to go for a slower punish over there, just in case of block stun frames and online delay or whatever. Just going for the down 1, nice and simple, guarantees himself the game. Now, Mr. Ramirez looking a little bit back on form, you know, as we've seen him before.
And the stomp for H-Dope, that wasn't going to be a round of, okay, I'm just going to stomp constantly and see what happens. That was, I'm going to stomp, create that situation. Because like I said, he is playing a very point blank only Shiva. The stomp is what allows that to happen because you get the knockdown, you can dash in and do something. And that's, I think, really what he was looking for. He had no life to work with, didn't want to get hit by a projectile, didn't want to get hit by the plethora of ranged buttons that Scarlet has. Just tried to somewhat cut it short. Now, wait a minute. H-Dope has always had a Cetrion. And I know that Scarlet players have said in the past they despise this matchup. So this is a last-ditch effort to try and get that reset. Mr. Ramirez on the verge of a reverse sweep here, Falcon. Do you think he can pull it off, or are we going to have an ended tournament right now?
Well, I think Ramirez, at this point, playing Scarlet at the level he's been playing, I think it's safe to say he's been fighting against many Cetrions up until now, but whether or not he can deal with H-Dope Cetrion is another question. If H-Dope is willing to rock this character that is highly regarded as, the top 1 character in this game, and really play Scarlet's game plan just a little bit better than her, then it could be entirely in H-Dope's favor. But I think Ramirez is pretty well equipped for this one.
It's a matchup I'm sure he's played a whole bunch. Whether he uses Scarlet for the matchup or not, that I guess is another story, because part of specializing in a character is knowing when they're not the character for the job. And I know a lot of Scarlet players do not play this matchup if they have to, but as Mr. Ramirez, he didn't win that first game. Well, actually, he didn't. You don't have the luxury of that final character change, right? So you're locked into this, and you have to work hard for that tournament win. Being in the winner's side doesn't mean that if Ramirez wins this game, the tournament is over. And if he loses, then, we're going straight into a fresh 3 out of 5. There's the knockdown. Can he create some kind of situation for himself? Cetrion, the ranged game, can definitely counter zone.
Okay, the interruption on the boulder, forcing the breakaway as well. That 4-4-3 confirm into that straight bloodshot. Till H-Dope getting the flawless block, trying to use that 1-1 with the back 2 anti-air right there, the overhead.
That sometimes whiffs, so I was a bit nervous when I saw that.
I usually see that whiff too, but the confirm 1-1 into Fatal Blow, I don't know if that's enough. Is that gonna kill? I think it is.
It's hard to say. I think she'll barely survive.
You called it, yeah. 7.81 life remaining. This is ship territory. You gotta watch out for those earthquakes. You can see him frantically jumping. He avoided them. Oh, and the air to air.
Now, I guess if we're going into any kind of silver lining, at least the fatal blow is gone. But I'm sure he would have rather won the round counter hit the beginning of what could be the end in the winner's bracket as H-Dope is just about to reset. Oh no!
So well, that 1-1 from the pushback on the moves before. You see at this range, he's using that 1-1 again, but Mr. Ramirez being wise to it this time. He's going to get himself a confirm in the corner. He has H-Dope off that defensive bar for the breakaway. He's also got the escape failed for the throw KB. Whether or not he's able to use him is another story, but he's going to find himself a hit. No confirm into that straight bloodshot. That could have really benefited him.
Oh wait, Scarlet. Fatal blow. As long as that fatal blow exists, Scarlet has explosive damage output. But that anti-air is much harder.
Oh, the flawless block. Not enough for Ramirez, but the wall to close things out. And we have a reset over here in Grand Finals. Now, this gives, obviously, Ramirez the liberty of being able to counterpick and kind of go into the fresh set a bit stronger.
So this opens up the question of what's our first match going to be here now. Because we know that the Cetrion is able to fight the Scarlet, which, to be fair, was a good pick there from H-Dope. Like I said, a lot of Scarlet players say that they do not like fighting Cetrion at all, to the point where they use different characters in the matchup, actually, from what I've seen.
Yeah.
But you're locked into it, right? H-Dope had the luxury of that final character change and goes for essentially a counter pick. And Mr. Ramirez going in with the Kotal Khan. Have not seen Kotal Khan in some time from Mr. Ramirez, but I remember it being real solid.
Yeah, now Mr. Ramirez, we've mentioned this before, plays quite a number of different characters, and probably just feeling the general, just looking at both these characters alone, Kotal Khan has ways to approach Sin's Customs against Shiva. Amplified Cat being a really good projectile crush option is going to factor out things like Beam. It's going to factor out Earthquake as well, because you're going to go straight over it. And he has the options of gap closing should Ramirez opt to play, the Tekwani Mole special. But generally speaking, Kotal has an absurd amount of damage in comparison. So we're going to see the Command Grab, the Con Cut, and the Grand Discus. So I think a pretty much the most common Kotal variation you see from people. Surprised not to see the damage totem as well, though.
Round 1.
And here we go. Kotal Khan, definitely a character that can fight Cetrion in terms of, look, he's always going to have damage where she does not. She gets KBs, yeah, sure, but who doesn't have KB damage? damage for the most part. Whereas when it comes to Khan, this is where we get an entirely different story. He hits you, it hurts. Big time. He's going to want to keep Khan as far enough away as possible. You're the buffer within forward 2 range. Looking ready for this matchup, though.
Yeah, definitely prepared for it. Now, you know, H2 being Greek, Greece known to have another really strong Kotal Khan player out there as well with Quar. You know, maybe has that matchup experience just generally playing against, you know, a high-level Kotal Khan. But that 1-1 into the deadly wins right there, disrespected with that down one straight away from Mr. Ramirez. He's going to go into the tick grab off the 1-2. Now, I'm pretty sure he's not going to spend the bar here. He's going to go for the mid-screen Oki. Unblockable?
Oh, gimmicks. Let's go. Ooh, advance. Now we push towards the corner. Set through on the pushback of the wind, so good. Oh, looking for a counter hit perhaps. Going right through
definitely.
that rock wall.
Okay, there, the maximization from the launcher over there, taking that con cut, really coming in handy for him, as all he needed was that jump in, gonna get it confirmed into the fatal blow. Now this is gonna do a lot of damage. Not gonna kill H-Stoke, but it's gonna put him in a guessing situation.
Oh, wake up fatal blow! That's gonna be a bit of a tilter, surely. No one was expecting a fatal blow from that distance, but able to power through the discus. I don't even know if the discus had a chance to land there. Fatal blow came out way too fast in the first round for H-Stoke. It's going to put him into a comfortable situation, and for the first time has taken us the lead in the set.
Yeah, and you know, I think the discus was probably just like a bait attempt or something like that, probably fishing for that KB just to close things out, but in reality, I mean, it didn't seem like a guaranteed option over there. Now he's going to find a 4-2-4 confirm, forces the breakaway from H-Dope, and that short hop 3 to establish a little bit of pressure in the corner. H-Dope guessing wrong again. This is a scary place to be against Kotal Khan.
Wow, just a raw jumping straight out of the corner, but there's that confirm into the Khan cut. All the same, and we'll side switch, but right back. So we want set to off the B.
Oh my goodness, that was cheeky. 4-2 unblockable. Have we ever seen that in competitive, especially in grand finals? I mean, when do we see Kotal Khan in grand finals, let alone that? But the goal for Mr. Ramirez is gonna get a confirm over here, almost 30% on the table. H-Dope's only just built back that bar.
Push back in the regular win, but when you push back, Kotal Khan goes to a range where he's like, okay, I'll fight you. Got a forward 2.
Tell H-Dope is fishing for a hit right now, you know, preemptively using the Sand 1-1s as well, the 4-2 buffer into the deadly wins. Mr. Ramirez just needs one good touch as well. There's no breakaway for H-Dope if he does manage to find himself hit.
The respect is being shown for good reason. Ramirez knows one clean opening and we're going to take the lead in the set at last. Speaking of which, there's the breaker and a last chance now. Oh!
Okay. Seeing Ramirez. Oh, didn't want to commit though. Into the unblockable again? Almost dead.
No, he mistimes the meaty! He mistimes the meaty! Oh my god, the high gets low profiles. The Sunray. No! Mr. Ramirez had an almost checkmate situation, Vulcan, but he mistimed the forward 2 meaty and he got whiff punished. That is tragic stuff.
That one is an absolute heartbreaker for Mr. Ramirez, but he was so close to winning that game. It really came down to just timing that perfectly. And I guess at that space, I mean, how are you going to do that? It's a tough ask anyway, but it really did come down to that final moment, you know, that like short delay from H-Dope straight away into the wake up buttons, just blowing him up for it. And now, I mean, I don't want to be calling this a bit too early, but it seems like Ramirez might be getting a little bit tilted after how some of these games have ended.
I mean, 99.9% of us would absolutely have been tilted after how that one happened, because you ever... Oh, so few characters can be in a situation in this game, outside of, you know, the obvious last breath and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where they can put you in a situation that's pretty much guaranteed for them to win. And Kotal Khan button into Sunray is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of those situations. It's just that, I mean, I'd need to go and check the tapes, but I'm pretty sure what happened was he tried to do the forward 2, mistimed the meaty so it didn't jail, and then before he could do the Sunray, he got whiff punished on wake.
Yeah,
that is a situation you could go in training and get the time for 10 out of 10 times, but in the match, it just didn't go that way, you know?
Yeah, you got to deal with the human factor, you know? Playing that mind game about when you knock them down, when are they actually going to be getting back up? So even if you're going to try and guarantee a game, it's like, it's still a rough one. Right now, H-Dope has a lot of momentum on the table. Mr. Ramirez is getting hit by smaller increments of damage, but very frequently right there. That almost worked out for H-Dope with the straight boulder. It could have potentially gotten the KB from that.
Late active frame KB on boulder is something I'm never going to get used to seeing. It just always takes you by surprise, even after 2 years. But now the advancing buttons here, Mr. Ramirez trying to do what Kotal Khan does best. Forces his way into that point blank position, really, but hasn't a chance to establish what he picks up.
He hasn't, but the forward 1-2, he's gonna get the launch now. Ramirez is gonna spin the bar. It should kill over here and keep H-Dope in the corner, which it does. And right now, I mean, Ramirez, it's good that he's showing signs of life, you know, he's very much dedicated. He made Grand Finals winner's side. I'm sure he's incredibly hungry for this win. He doesn't want to get swept up from someone in the loser side of the bracket right here, but this is looking a little bit tough, you know. He's gonna have to find his approach a little bit better, start working his way in.
Oh, swinging a bit too hard there. H-Dope on defense. That forward 2 connects cleanly. Here comes that full combo for Kotal Khan. Damage buff as well. But this time we're cashing out. Mr. Ramirez does not want to be in a situation where he compromises damage for anything. Return though. H-Dope able to return fire. Plus on hit barrier. Such an important base move to have. It complements so much of her kit. Buttons upon pushback, but I have a bit of my own.
Yeah. I really like that back 2-2 option as well from Mr. Ramirez, just to force the whiff over there. Using the Grand Discus as well, just to get the knockdown. Till H-Dope was fishing for the KB over there. Tried to get the Deadly Winds to go for the restand because of a really high positioning from Ramirez. And the Hell's Wrath close out the round. H-Dope really just making this so hard for Ramirez, but you can tell it's within Ramirez's hands. Like, it's so close. When he finds his hits, he's either getting the breakaway or he's doing an absurd amount of damage into a favorable situation. But you know, still has to deal with all the chip damage and all the stray hits, but that Discus KB is going to be really beneficial for him. A nice 25% in this final round.
We go back to this patient game so far, but you can only be patient for so long with this many projectiles flying at you as Kotal Khan. The trade, not a terrible trade for Mr.
Oh, but that was really good for him. Getting the breakaway over there off the Discus, I don't think that's entirely what H-Dope wanted. I can't imagine wanting to break over there. Maybe just go for it.
Mustard and I call it one of those breakaways.
Definitely. Ramirez is just trying to play outside of range of the natural barrier. Really doesn't want to be on the receiving end of that. I mean, we know how much work it's been doing for H-Dope over here in the set. Clean jump over the boulder right now. I mean, Ramirez is going to get the confirmed down one. Oh, didn't go for the command grab.
I think it's because he was caught jumping, right? So maybe he just didn't trust the gravity. They trade. And the tick. Hang on a minute. We're going to amp it.
That should kill. I think. No, not enough.
Wake up button. No! Oh. He pressed. He pressed.
Goodness, Ketchup. What is going on right now? He forced the whiff right there. That, what was it? A down one backdash into 4-2-3, and then the counter poke just got blown up by Mr. Ramirez. Confirmed straight away into Fatal Blow by H-Dope, who now has 2 points up on Ramirez in this reset.
That was, I'm going to be honest though, that was kind of clean from H-Dope, because the wake up buttons, he had to do it. He had to fight back because he was going to get put in that checkmate position again with Sunray, right? He had no choice. But the fact that he acknowledged that the wake up button into pushback gave him enough range to not try and jump, not try and be too hasty. He still had the peace of mind in that situation to back up and wait for the inevitable button and stick out the mid to whiff punish. Like, it was a really clean way of winning the game in a position where he had such little hope of winning. And Ramirez, you said it's Ramirez is losing in some rather tilting ways. I think that is simply moving forward. That's another heartbreaker to lose. And Mr. Ramirez going in with this noob Cybot. I was thinking about it. You have to realize going in with noob. The reason I think he second guessed it is if he picked noob Cybot there and won, there's no way H-Dope wouldn't have picked Shiva. And Shiva versus noob,
it was a guarantee, right? Bother. But it's like Shiva versus Kotal. Now that's not too bad, right? But it's like, now this is a rough one because H-Dope has that points advantage, you know, and now it comes the counterpick situation where both these guys play a lot of characters, but Ramirez is going to have to be sticking to his guns. He's going to be rocking the same Kotal Khan variation that we've been seeing since this bracket reset, and he's been very close to winning these games over here. H-Dope has ultimately been the one to pull through when it matters.
Cetron's been quite the pick against Mr. Ramirez so far. I've not actually seen Cetron versus Sindel matchup in quite some time, but I wonder if there is a reason Ramirez isn't playing that one, considering Sindel will spend the absolute majority of the heavy lifting game into Grand Finals. Scarlet versus Centron would make no sense. It's a matchup they hate. Kotal Khan looking more practiced. The noob Cybot in theory could have done well versus Centron, but then you have to realize it would be a Shiva up next, and ain't no noob Cybots want to play that matchup. But there's the Ramirez fighting back.
Yeah, that great bait right there after applying, a lot of, the frequent, I guess, giving pressure in the corner and just finding that few hits and stuff, kind of forcing the H2O out of H-Dope and was ready to challenge it straight away with the moment he did it. Now we're seeing Ramirez just be really patient on neutral. He's trying to weave his way through. Good throw hit. Just to find that forward two and get to confirm, like there. Over here now, H2O forced off that breakaway he had to, and I'm sure that command grab was a missed input right there for Mr. Ramirez, who got caught in the counter hit, but luckily it didn't amount to too much.
Oh, we're going to amplify again. Ramirez, normally some Kotal Khan players, they do like to go for regular command grab just to keep better frame data, but I think right now he wants damage. He wants damage right now as he'll add.
I don't know why he didn't spend the KB though, off the punish, because there was no breakaway on the side of H-Dope. Hopefully that one doesn't come back to haunt him, but it looks like he is going to be taking the game with this command grab. Mr. Ramirez keeping himself alive once again at death's door.
And I think definitely, we said tilted. I think tilted is confirmed with that kind of pop-off after the game. How many games did it take for Mr. Ramirez to actually get a win here? The second he does, we see that. Now, I personally, will be honest, I actually think that's a mistake. Why show the opponent that they've bothered you that much in a grand finals where they're up on games? I think that you're kind of giving H-Dope too much information, because if he knows that you're tilted, that's just giving him a mental advantage outright.
Unless he's trying to play the reverse psychology game or something, where he's just trying to play basic psychology, where he's trying to tilt H-Dope now. Or he's like, I'm just gonna teabag you and I'm gonna fatal you. If it gets on your nerves, that's just better for me. Chances are you'll probably slip up in the next few games, because I guess now could have potentially been the only opportunity that Ramirez gets to do that, right? But you're totally right though. He just gave away that information to say, yeah, man, I'm pretty frustrated. And I think if H-Dope, is able to decipher that, then it could be good for him. But the Shiva pick, I'm pretty sure we expected this. Just there was no chance that it wasn't going to happen if the Cetrion was dealt with. He had a good run with Cetrion, got himself the reset, got himself 2 games as well after the reset. But now we're seeing him back on that Shiva that we've been seeing him tear through the rest of the bracket with so far.
Now, going in with the main, this will be a heavy-hitting matchup, absolutely.
Round 1.
Advantage though, damage alone, you actually kind of think you have to give it to Shiva, because Kotal Khan, to get his damage here, will need a launch, right? He has to hit the Khan cut, but you can break that. You can't break what Shiva does. So he's going to consistently get a little bit more here to cancel.
So I'm curious to see that Ramirez doesn't run Cat as well, generally speaking, when playing Kotal, because in this situation, like when you're playing against Shiva, Cat is just such an amazing answer to stomp, because it never hits you. Like, regardless of if it's delayed or not, you can always Cat reaction. Which could have been
interruption attempts right now, by the way. I think the threat of the spin has really come about. Oh, looking for a whiff punish. Down 1, low profile.
Yeah, and using that down 3 to check him as well. Going for the grand disc because he's going to knock him towards the corner, but that overcommitment right there is going to get counter hit by the stomp. Ramirez trying to go for the air-to-air, and H-Dope now once again on tournament point.
Now, the tournament point does indeed exist for H-Dope, who buffers the back forward just in case. Debuff time. It's going to be the stance. More of it. To create the damage. Ramirez unable to establish anything here. The parry. Oh, but the blow up. More. The stance.
Oh, this is brutal right now for Ramirez. He's just taking all of his health and chip damage. Just trying to close the gap right now. And the Dragon Stance with a flawless.
H-Dope is sitting there going, all right, mate, is your down input still working? How about this? Oh, he's definitely trying to fatality. He's not going to friendship. This will not be a friendship. Oh, it will be. Oh, H-Dope, nice guy. Nice guy. Remains the less rude player, I guess. Well, I tell you what, that last round must have been a bit satisfying, to be completely honest. But going in with the Shiva, And that last final game is going to give H-Dope that tournament win. And I'm actually happy to see H-Dope get a win because he's been grinding this for a while, and this was no doubt a big result for him. Now allows K-Top and H-Dope to have collectively won tournaments between the two of them. Impressive stuff, Falcon.
Yeah, really good stuff. And I mean, even though it wasn't K-Top this time winning around, it was his twin brother. It goes to show just how strong both these guys really are. Where even though we haven't seen H-Dope as much frequently in terms of the brackets, like the top 8 brackets, we now see just exactly what he's capable of and what bracketology can also do to certain players. But that win is going to definitely put him in a much better position after taking the 350 points for the regional finals, especially with this little time left in the Intercontinental Combat.
Now, before we consult the bracket and see what the journey's been and everything else, you can see it right up the top of your screens, right? Presented by PS4. The reason for that is because the PS4 tournaments has been the absolute one-stop shop for competitive Mortal Kombat 11 for almost an entire year now. Not because of just pro competition, but because of the Open Series, a weekly online invitational where you qualify for it on Monday. And if you play well enough, you get invited back on the Tuesday to compete for weekly cash prizes. And there is a monthly final at the end of each month with more significant prize pot and bragging rights. You can go to compete.playstation.com. The next qualifier is tomorrow, Monday. If you play on EU East and West or NA East and West, you can enter both within your region. Give yourself extra chances to qualify and all that. And we'll see you on Tuesday, hopefully, to compete for some money in a very similar show. But look at our journey today. The reset happened from H-Dope. Ramirez able to get something on the board, but H-Dope definitely having the last laugh. A nice, varied bracket, Falcon. I love to see the representation here.
I mean, yeah, look at that. We got 2 players from Turkey. We got 3 players from Greece. We got 2 players from Russia. We got 1 player from Latvia. It's like the international representation and just how much each individual region is growing in terms of strength and coming together as a collective who are also all growing and becoming so much better is truly amazing, to be honest. And this is only just the eastern side of Europe, by the way. This isn't even factoring in the western side where we got a huge other pool of killers over there. But before we can get into all that stuff, I mean, that's what's going to be all later on, so we hope you tune in back then. But that's been all from myself and from Ketchup. And thank you guys very much for watching the Intercontinental Combat for EU East. It's been a really good top 8, and we hope to see you later on.
You won't beat that out of the car. Looks like bling.
No jokes, no gimmicks, just combat.
PlayStation. Looking for attention, I don't need the extra tension, cause I'm in the 4th dimension. Trap P is high in suspension. Now don't bother with the haters, cause they all be imitators. Real life manipulators. Get fit back up and see you later. I like me for me. I'ma be what I'ma be. I like me for me. I am who I wanna be. Na 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 na. Gotta prove it to myself and nobody else. Gotta prove it to myself and nobody else. I like me for me. I'ma be what I'ma be. Prove it to myself like nobody else. Gotta prove it to myself like nobody else. Gotta prove it to myself like nobody else. Gotta prove it to myself. I like me for me.
Hey guys, Ketchup and Mustard here, and it's time to test your might in the Mortal Kombat 11 Open Series. Ready to rumble? Power on your PlayStation and head to the Events app, filter by type, and select a convenient date and time. Boot up MK11 and locate the PS4 Tournaments menu option. Click it to visit a familiar place, the Console Events tab. Sign up and prepare to play. Once registered, you can view your tournament details and check-in time. A notification will remind you to tighten your black belt and get over here for your match. Continue combat in the open qualifiers to close in on the competition. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the tournaments.
PlayStation. Who are you?
I'm your worst nightmare.
Any ring I step into is mine. End of the line.
Then this fight is now personal.
It is exhausting being so perfect.